Alright, so we should be live, right? Sounds like it.
Like it.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to episode 37 of the Game Talk Podcast. How the fuck is everybody? And was that Pete saying he didn't feel good? No.
I don't know.
No, that was my girl that said that. Never mind.
My girl.
My girl. So, new Xbox One S. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
And what's the comparisons? You guys doing that? You guys doing this? You're doing the comparisons, right? I saw a certain post by some idiot today, and he doesn't understand why you're doing it. So I think it's funny.
Oh, I didn't see that post. What post was that?
Oh, called you a corporate slave.
Rambo's like, you're gonna have to narrow it down some more. I don't know.
I know, right? I don't want to mention his name anymore because that's what he gets off on. You know what I mean?
Ah, okay, him. I didn't see it, but
yeah, that's why I didn't mention it. But yeah, it's hysterical. I was just kind of perusing to see if fake ass will tag or have the balls to tag anybody in it, and no, he doesn't. So it's all good. Rokon, what's up, dude? Holy shit! It's been a while since I've seen you. Ogre, what's going on? Oh fuck! I probably should like.
Which one am I?
There we go. Let me get that out of there because I want to have my sound bar thing going off because I like the way it looks. So, I mean, there's things to talk about at least. And I know, Brim, accept my what? Accept your calls. You're calling me? I didn't know you're calling me. Bro, if you're calling me in that random ass fucking call with a bunch of autistic asses in there, no, I'm not going into it.
Why not?
I called like you on Discord. Yeah, I'm not calling you right now. You're not. No, dude, I'm in the middle of the podcast. Jesus. Long time, buddy. I've been busy with school, and also YouTube didn't notify me about streams, so I never knew what you were live. Oh yeah, yeah, man. We're over here. We're over here doing our thing. You know. The trolling has been on point lately, though, I must say. Ah, man. But, yeah, dude, like, so, where do you guys want to start? Like, there's, a myriad of shit to talk about.
I think that might be my audio, too. I just listened to it, and I'm kind of low.
Are you low?
I don't know. I don't hear it. I can't turn it up because I'll hear myself and...
Okay, hold on.
Like, a few seconds behind, so...
Oh, you know what? I think I know what it is. All right. I'll turn you guys all the way up on the desktop of OBS. All right, go ahead and say something.
What's up? Can y'all hear me now?
Wait, Rambo had a beard?
Yeah, I shaved it though. It wasn't like a PewDiePie beard, but it was a beard.
Cool. So you guys can hear them now. Is he still low? Like I turned it all the way up off the desktop audio for OBS.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, cool.
Ogre, I haven't played AC Origins yet. I started it, and then once I realized it was a full-fledged RPG, and that I realized that RPGs are going to take you hours to complete, I backed out of it and started playing something else that I could get through. So that's the reason why.
So are you going to finish it, though? That's the question.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm definitely going to finish it. It's a fun little game. It's going to take a while to get used to the new controls, because... nothing's the same as far as like any previous Assassin's Creed game and this. None of the controls are the same.
Well, Rambo, are you going to finish it or finish it like you finished The Witcher 3?
No, I'm going to finish it because Assassin's Creed is like one of my favorite games, one of my favorite series. So, Witcher, I'm going to finish it. I'm just waiting on the enhancement.
Oh, for X?
For X and Pro. I'm making that up now because. Now that something else I can wait on.
You know, have you ever noticed how funny Twitter is? Like, so I'm looking at that sum all thing, right, that we have.
Yeah.
And it says my week on Twitter is 492 mentions, 4.37k mentions reached, 142 likes, 12 retweets, 5.9k retweets reached, with only one follower. Like what the fuck?
We all know where the mentions came from. We're just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah. Mine were fucking cancerous. As far as how much I got. I'll have to go.
Cancer? Is it like stage 3, stage 4? I mean,
Oh, I think it's like full on. You're dead at this point.
Yeah, it's so terminal. It's not even worth treating. Just take a 9 out back and pop yourself in the head. I mean,
yeah, because it's. I mean, mine. I think I was like close to like 26,000 mentions.
it's not all that bad, right, boys?
Yeah, it was enough for me to. No, I really don't want to. That was too fucking much. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand like why people need to mention me so damn much, but
I think we're gonna be running these seasons in hundreds. So it'll be like first season was 100. And this season will probably be 100 if I'm correct. I think that's right, guys? Like we're gonna do that.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
That seems like it. Even
So
that way we know when to stop and start the next season.
that's 1 season per year, basically. The 52 weeks in a year, 2 weeks or 2 episodes in a week. So yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Can you guys believe we've been doing this shit over a year already?
No, not really.
A year
Honestly,
and a half, actually. If you think about it, like, because like the beginning of the year was like,
oh yeah,
way
We've
before
split
the
up.
presidency. Yeah, it was like, it was what, April, I think, of 2016 we started.
and we had
this?
a few episodes that we like in the very beginning that we never numbered because we weren't really doing episodes at that time. So I mean, it's been going on for a while. A lot longer than what I thought it would. I honestly figured that once like Rags left, that we would probably like more or less go our separate ways. But I'm glad we kind of stuck it out and all of us together, or whatever.
Yeah, same. I'm glad that we're doing this still. I didn't think we would.
Rambo,
either.
we've all known each other since before this. Like, I mean, so what? You just expected to get rid of us after Rags left?
I just figured that we'd probably be going into like doing our videos or something, something just like I figured that, I don't know. I just didn't, because I didn't think that we'd look for another host and then, do all that good stuff or whatever. So,
yeah, I mean, like I said, man, like I don't, like, we started this together, you know what I mean? Like, I don't see this ending unless we want it to end, and that would, obviously be something that we all talk about in the future. If it
would have to be a mutual thing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I enjoy doing this. It's a lot of fun. We get to air out our anger. If we're pissed off about something, we say it. You know what I mean? Like, we're not pussyfooting around it. We're not trying to spare people's feelings or anything. Like, we literally try to say what we feel, and that's that. I mean, agree to disagree with that. That's that's up to our audience to decide. But at the end of the day, we're still friends. We're still cool with each other. We've known each other a lot longer than most of these people have known us. So. And having these people on for the ride definitely is a perk. So, with that being said,
yeah, I don't know what that dude's deal is with calling me like a corporate slave. Like how okay? How is it that if you buy if you happen to go to somebody's house and they have multiple things from different corporations, they happen to be a corporate slave, like. What do you have to do? Like, have, like, just homemade shit at your house all the fucking time? That makes no fucking sense.
Or your disabilities?
Oh, God, I hate the fucking disability thing. Like,
it'd be one thing if it was just physical, right? But it's not.
Yeah. Somebody...
Whatever, let's oversimplify. Let's oversimplify and equate it to a false bullshit narrative so that way the shit that's spun could be believable.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, if he just went through a day of what like me and Shaner went through, then he'd definitely understand.
There's something that like I find really funny about that. The people that get on other people's case about the whole disability thing, they're like, "Well, you're just scamming the government." Like, do you know how hard that actually is? It's not like something that's relatively easy for people to do.
Yeah, you can't just simply walk into the. Oh shit! Okay, you can't just simply walk into the disability office and go, "Hey, I'm here. I want a disability," and they go, "Okay."
Check your weapons.
Yeah, no, you have to see their team of doctors, and they have to deem it okay. It's a long process.
I went through 5 years before I ever got approved, and I had to go to court to get approved. And they basically said, "Well, with my limitations, they were like, "Well, what jobs can you do?" And they said something about some kind of it was some kind of weird fucked up job that I don't think half of America or even 3/4 of America has even heard of. I think there might be like 2 people doing this job in the whole United States. I mean, because it was some off the wall job. I can't remember it now. And they were like, "Well, is there any openings here in Oklahoma?" And they're like, "No, there's no openings in the world." And I'm like, "Well, okay, well then I can't do that job." I don't know what the fuck it is. Like,
they can hear your game.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I fucking... Dude, I have that shit muted. It's not even a... Okay, whatever. That means the software here is really fucking up my shit.
Is this new software?
Sorry, guys.
Are you using are you using new software?
No, it's the fucking... Dude, it's the AverMedia software. I can't even turn it down, evidently, dude. What the fuck? Alright, hold on. Yep, I can see it bouncing up and down. Sorry, fellas. Alright, let me go into advanced audio properties.
But I've been working on. I took a few pictures in Super Lucky's Tale on the S and the X. And really, I mean, on Super Lucky's Tale, I know it says it was enhanced for the X, but I really think the only thing it got was a 4K update, because there's literally literally no difference at all. Of course, because you know the S upscales to 4K anyway.
Huh?
Where's Valerie Struck?
It's not her job.
At her job?
I'll tell you later. Anyways, yeah, that's...
Gosh, Jamie.
So I mean, with that, I mean, I've just now got my PS4 Slim set up, and I'm waiting. It was supposed to be here today, but it was an HDMI splitter that's that actually will split 5 to 1, and it will cover HDR and 4K.
Yeah.
So that way I can get all my consoles hooked up into one outlet, one HDMI in.
One little box, yeah.
Yeah, and once I do that, I'll start working really hard on the actual comparisons. Because right now, my S, for some reason, it's plugged into the HDMI 3. And now mind you, my company for the LG says there should be no difference between any inputs. Like, every input should have the same features.
Yeah.
But if I go to HDMI, now this was happening before on like anything other than HDMI 1. When I had the S before, I had it plugged into HDMI 2, and it would show like I could play movies in 4K and HDR, but all the gaming stuff, like the 40 and 50 hertz or 50 and 60 or whatever, was showing that it wouldn't do HDR10. And so I was calling my TV company, and they were like, it should. I don't know. Maybe your device is wrong. I don't know, but it was weird. So whenever I got the X and I swapped it out, I didn't do anything different. I just simply swapped out the cord into my X instead of my S and HDMI 2, and all of a sudden it showed that a green check mark all the way through. So I'm like, maybe there's something wrong with the reader in the S. That's causing it to like not green check mark all the way through.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get any updates on my TV or anything like that. So I mean, it should have been the exact same. But
yeah,
my X is showing in 4K HDR, and my S and HDMI 3 is now doing the same thing it was doing in HDMI 2. It's showing like 4K and HDR and at 30 hertz, or at 24 hertz, but not 50 and 60 hertz. So I have, whenever I get this new splitter, I can put them all into HDMI 1 and have them all where I know for a fact that every one of them work on that one.
Yeah.
And Rokon, no, I got my PS4 Slim for $299. I should have thought about it whenever I was doing my Black Friday shopping, because I was like one of the first ones in line to get all my stuff, and I should have just bought a damn PS4 at GameStop at that point, because I could have got $199 and then $50 gift card. But my dumbass was like, no, I don't really need a slim because I got a pro. And then, 2 weeks later, I'm like, maybe I should get a slim. And so here I am. Like, now, I mean, I've spent like, I think I've done my part in trying to make sure every company wins NPDs for November. Or December, or November, I guess, yeah. Because I bought in November a PS4 Slim, a PS4 Pro, a PSVR, a Nintendo Switch, an Xbox One X, and an Xbox One S.
But you're a corporate slave.
Apparently, I mean, I don't know which one I'm slaving to, but apparently I'm just slaving to any corporation. I'm just like,
I thought corporate slave meant like you rode hard for just one brand.
That's what I thought.
But evidently, you're a corporate slave if you help and support all brands that you like.
Yeah, apparently, if you go to this person's house, it's all homemade shit. Like he doesn't even have like picture frames from companies. They're like noodles stuck together and tied together.
But they're homemade noodles.
Homemade noodles, yeah.
Don't you know
they were
England
rolled,
is
rolled
his
with
city?
flour and everything. England is the city, yeah. Oh, Spare Who, don't even joke. Please don't joke.
The PS Slim 4 Pro to come out.
If that comes out, actually, what I really want to do, if I can talk my wife into it. Now, this is between me and you guys.
Oh, okay.
Is I'm gonna try to talk my wife into allowing me to get original Xbox One and an original PS4.
Oh, I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming.
I'm fucking dying here, dude. Like, oh my god. I'm sorry if I'm laughing too loud in you guys' ears, but Jesus Christ. Oh.
It's bothering me. My OCD is bothering me because I'm like, I know there's 3, and here I only got 2.
Rambo, you're going to need a bigger entertainment center. I've seen the pictures. You can't fit 2 more consoles on that.
Maybe if I got a smaller TV.
Nigga, like, your wife's going to divorce your ass if you're not careful.
Yeah, I've got to do it carefully. I got to do it secretly. And how I got the PS4 Slim?
How?
I was like, babe was like, so we have this much money left for the rest of the, for another week and a half. And it's like, do you care if I get a PS4 Slim? I was like, it's going to really technically be yours, because you got rid of yours, but it'll just sit on my entertainment center for now until you want to play it. But I'll just call it yours. And she's like, I guess. And I'm like, okay, it's not yours.
And it's a camouflage one, so it blends in so you can't even see it.
He's like fucking double jeopardying that shit. Like, yeah, babe, it's totally yours. I mean, he's playing, bitch, this shit is mine.
I was like, don't you say I'm busy? I'm playing something here. Neverland, yeah, it is blowing money, but I mean, at the same time, is that since I do write for a site though, I mean, technically, I guess I could make it a tax write-off.
Yeah, and then you could just keep them and stop trading the goddamn things in.
Well, yeah, I'm actually not going to trade any of these things in anymore.
Why have I heard that shit before, Rambo?
But I'm done with the trade because I've got everything that I need now.
All right, you guys, you guys heard that here, episode 37, season 2. He says he is done trading consoles in. I want you guys to remember these words. And the day he trades the shit in, you better clown him. Clown him if he does.
Yo, Pete.
Hey!
Yo.
Hey, man. Everything
Pete
okay?
is here.
How you
Fuck
feeling,
these
buddy?
headset issues.
PC Master Race.
Why don't you just stop
My
being...
girl's laptop, it's got an issue with my Corsair. Like,
Really?
it's weird because the first time I plugged it in, it worked great. But every time since I've plugged it in, it's required me to do something weird, like unplug a bunch of USB shit and plug it all back in or something like that to get it to work. And I have no fucking idea why.
That is weird.
I think the USB drivers are getting all confused or something, but who knows? It's not my laptop, so.
Well, did you fix your desktop yet?
Dude, I'm working. I haven't been able to get anything done on it the last, 3 or 4 days, but I'm getting some shit done on it tonight.
Oh, okay.
I had to take 2 trips to Fry's, bro, to get the right shit.
Oh wait, you had the
Everything's gotta
wrong
be
shit in there
complicated.
before, or what?
I got a couple of things, just like a few brackets and a couple of like cables and shit, trying to sort out some issues, replace all my SATA cables, and I got a new power supply and some other shit. But for some of the brackets I want to use, like the hard drives were positioned weird, and I had to get a whole bunch of weird shit to get it to work.
So you still don't know what the problem is, though?
I think it was the power supply.
Ah, okay.
Because
You know
Nothing.
it was overclocking.
well, it was working perfectly before I got my Vega. With my 290X and my Ryzen and everything else exactly the same way, it worked perfectly fine. As soon as I installed my Vega, it started crashing. Now, I could have bought that it was beginner driver issues and shit like that, but it wouldn't have gotten worse as the drivers got newer, and it certainly wouldn't have affected my memory overclock.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that, like, the power supply was starting to go bad because it's like 3.5 or 4 years old, so it's not new.
But how
And
big?
maybe-
How big's the power supply though?
It's an 860.
And
So
then-
with my Ryzen and my 290X and all my fans and everything, it was probably pulling like 650 watts max, maybe like 675-ish. With the Vega, it's more like maybe 750 at the
Oh,
at
so
the
you're
very
cutting
most.
It, you're cutting it
So
close.
I'm thinking that it was
It probably
just
peaked?
quite enough. Yeah, it wasn't bad enough to make it fail when the 290X was in it, but when the Vega was in it, it started pulling more current way more often, and whatever had gone bad just went bad real quick and started crashing like faster and
Yeah.
faster.
Hence why certain games
Yeah.
crashed, like Overwatch.
Yo, you guys in the chat, this is why.
No, that's the thing. Besides Overwatch,
Well,
like,
no,
it
that would
didn't
actually
matter
make
what-
sense though. That would actually make sense if that
'cause,
was
like,
the reason.
Warframe wouldn't do it. Yeah.
Well, the
So,
reason why
I
I
don't-
say
we'll-
it makes
we'll
sense.
see.
The reason why okay, so it's a good possibility that when you're pushing your GPU for Overwatch, there's a good chance that you were peaking your power supply when you were trying to run it. So that would actually make sense.
Well, it was
as to why
freezing,
it
not
would
actually
freeze it.
crashing on Overwatch.
But you told me you blue screened before.
It is possible.
That's what I'm
I guess.
saying. That's what
Yeah,
I was going
I
off
mean,
of. Yeah, you could.
It'd be unusual, but
it would be. It would be.
shit,
But it's not
anything's
uncommon.
possible when it comes to computers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen everything happen, so.
But like, this is why like everybody's asked me like, why do I go with like such high fucking power supply? Well, this is why. I always go for 1,000 and above. I never settle for anything less than that because I know I'm gonna want to fuck around with it, or I'm gonna want to upgrade later in the future.
Remember your training.
Like
Make us
800
proud.
is like bare minimum for me, especially if you're buying like high-end shit sometimes. So I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'd rather not need it than to need it. if you
I
know what
want
mean.
1,000, but the only 1,000 that Fry's has that will fit is a shitty one. It's a LEPA, and I've looked it up, and it's not the greatest quality. And I did have it before, and it worked for my old system, but yeah, it wasn't the greatest power supply. The highest that I can get besides that is the 860 Corsair, and it's like that's a great ass power supply.
Yeah, that's all I do with is use the
All
Corsair.
it's fucking 80 plus platinum, which is the second best efficiency you can get, and it's got a bunch of cool features, and it's full modular and the whole 9 yards. But yeah, I would like 1,000, and I think Seasonic makes a 1,000 watt that's small enough to fit in my case.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna order one of those, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
I hope the best for you, bro. Like, have you been getting? Oh wait, you haven't done it. So like, you haven't installed it yet, right?
The new power supply's in. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And what was the power? What's the power pull on that?
It's another one of it's another AX860.
Recon airborne
Oh, okay.
searching for targets.
Yeah.
Well,
I just swapped
I
it.
guess,
I just swapped it at
I guess
Fry's.
you'll find out. I guess you'll find out if that's the case or not. Then.
Yep.
Well, shit.
That'll be fun for the rest of the night. I got a new bracket for my hard drives though, and that's the cool part because it allows me to fit
Too loud. Oh.
all my drives into a 5.5-inch bay,
Yeah.
or 5 1/4, whatever it is, and I can take out my last hard drive cage, and that'll completely free up the front fans, which will be nice for airflow.
Yeah. All right.
So it lets you put them like side by side then?
It's one big one on it's like it's a real long H-shaped bracket. So the two flat parts line up with the holes that you would normally screw in for like a CD-ROM or whatever. And then there's a big flat panel down the middle, and on top of it you can put a 3.5-inch drive, and on the bottom it'll fit up to two 2.5-inch SSDs.
All right, guys, that should be good for you then, right? I just turned it down a bit. Let me know if you can still hear it.
So that lets me stick all my drives in one 5 1/4 slot, and then I can take out there are 2 hard drive bays, and I was using one of them for my hard drives, but I can yank that now, which really frees up the front fans.
Okay, cool. Well, like I said, if we'll definitely find out if that's the case tonight. Hopefully.
Yep. Hopefully.
I mean, I don't mean hopefully as in like I hope you fail just to like back up what you're saying. You know what I mean? Like I want it to work for you.
Well, at this point, I just would like to pinpoint it.
Well, yeah, that would be like this would be a good litmus test to see if that's the case.
And this will.
Yep.
That's why I like doing tests like this.
Oh man. So, is there anything that's been going on for you that's been good, Pete? Like anything? Like it feels like we haven't talked for that much this week at all. Really.
We haven't, bro. I've just been sick as fuck.
Yeah, that sucks.
I don't know if it's a tooth or if it's like a sinus problem or if both at the same time. But man, it knocked my ass out for 2 weeks.
It's because you need more cocaine in your life.
Yeah, I know, right? That's what I'm missing.
When things start to make sense with cocaine,
Right?
you've like literally traversed the twilight zone of America.
How bad are your problems that the answer is cocaine?
I know, right?
I don't know.
It gives you a lot to think about, huh, Shane?
Let life get a little worse, and I'll answer you on that one.
Oh, I'm just saying, that's what I mean. How bad do the problems have to be before your answer to them is, well, fuck it, Coke. Yep. That'll help.
About how they are not bringing back MTX on Battlefront 2, or we are done the whole spiel. No, I haven't done that part yet. I didn't even know that. Did you guys see that, Rokon? What Rokon said?
Yeah, somebody linked me the thing I've got.
Are they really not doing microtransactions anymore?
Well, in the Rolling Stone article, it says that they actually announced, the chief financial officer announced in a gathering of investors earlier this week that they may not bring microtransactions back to Star Wars Battlefront 2.
But what does that mean though? Like, does that mean we're gonna get split off games now? Like, you know what I mean?
I don't know. The thing I can think of is
these guys have to make their money somehow, bro. Like,
there's additional content supposed to be added to it. So I mean, it's either going to be, the only way I can think of is they're gonna come out with the season pass.
Bro.
Yeah, pay DLC packs and a season pass.
And look, it's like that's the reason why I say you gotta pick and choose, man. Like you've got to figure out a way to pay for these damn extra things.
Bro, like I'm still so I fired up. So check this out. For the sake of argument, right? I watch Dandruff's videos. He does like a kind of like a mini show about the news for gaming of the week or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he's a good YouTuber. His heart's in the right spot. But today, like, I busted him fucking misleading people about the whole Paladin situation, and I've noticed that that's running rampant actually. And it's kind of annoying, right? Because as somebody who's been a part of the Paladins community since Alpha, I'll be the first one to tell you that loot boxes have been in that game since day one. Like, this is not new. This is definitely not a new concept. And you've got these big-time YouTubers here on fucking YouTube spreading that shit like it's wildfire. They're saying that, oh, the new patch is going to introduce loot boxes. The new patch is introducing loot boxes. It's like, no, 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 no. Like, you motherfuckers are stupid. Like, seriously. And I'm not saying that they're actually stupid. It's just, like, their mentality and the way they're, like, presenting this information is stupid. And it's like, it's just a pet peeve of mine. And I was talking to my boy Metro today about this. We as a gaming community are the first to point out fake news when it comes to ESPN, not ESPN, but CNN, Fox, you know what I mean? Like, we always say fake news this, fake news that. Where's, you know, because we all know that they're speaking from a place of an opinion, right? But they pass it off as news. So my problem with everybody misrepresenting Hi-Res Studios right now is they're doing the same exact thing for the sake of doing away with loot boxes. They're pushing a narrative that co-aligns with themselves, like that aligns itself with the possibilities of doing away with loot boxes. Like, that to me is a fucking shame, because it's a free-to-play game. No one is making you buy into it. And supposedly, they're making you buy into it now. That was never a fucking thing. Dude, and that's driving me up a wall, dude. I'm not gonna lie. That really is pissing me off. Like, how the fuck are we gonna sit here, cry out fake news in our politics, but support fake news on social media because it's aligned with how we feel and what we think? That's fucking dumb, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking drives me nuts. Fucking double standard assholes, dude. Oh, man. Not you, Dandruff, in case you watch this. Dandruff, I'm cool with you. It's just people that are much bigger size than you are the assholes.
When it comes to shit, I'll learn how to talk sooner or later. But the Blue Psycho, Andrea Gaming sent me a DM asking if we could talk about, while we're talking about this, how we think it's going to, like, this is going to affect Anthem.
Oh,
and
fuck.
this is the thing, is like right now I'm kind of like, at this point I'm not hyped about any EA game, but with the way that it's going with, like, the government's getting involved and all this bullshit, I honestly think that EA is going to have to rethink their strategy for a while to try to let the government calm down, and then go back to doing, you know, business as usual. But so I mean, there's still hope that Anthem is going to be a decent game, but it really depends on how the situation goes, I think, with the government, what EA decides to do. That's kind of like, I think, where we land on that. What do y'all think?
Bro, okay, so this is a good segue into a certain senator that's trying to push anti-loot gaming loot box laws. Did you hear about that yet?
Yeah.
I think what EA is going to have to do is the one thing that we all are going to hate no matter what fucking happens, dude. No matter what happens, we're going to fucking hate it. And that is, they're going to piece out the game. So instead of getting a full $60 experience, we're going to get a partial $60 experience. That's what I think is going to happen. Because their hands are tied. They do loot boxes, right? And that unlocks what? It unlocks vanity
items. Opens up the government
again. Yeah, it unlocks vanity items. It unlocks certain weapons earlier so that we don't have to play as much. I mean, I thought, and I've always thought this, that loot boxes were a healthy way of doing these things, right?
I thought they were too.
Because even with Paladins, like Paladins, you have a chance to unlock vanity items or get XP boosts. That's like a typical fucking loot box practice. That's like grade A fucking kindergarten loot box standard practice. Now it's going to be, well, since we can't make money doing this and we can't make money doing that, well, guess what? So season passes are no longer going to be year-long passes. They're going to be broken down into like 4 to 5 month passes at like $40 a pop to $50 a pop. And you're never going to be guaranteed content every month of that season pass. That's more gambling than it is the loot boxes.
Well, I mean, I guess because you're kind of buying it sight unseen.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at. You don't know what you're going to fucking get at all at that point.
the Watch Dogs season pass, I bought it early because I mean I was really hyped for Watch Dogs, the first one, and it really is a good game. But I mean I was like really dead set on getting that game, and I guess I should have known something was up because my base PS4 that I had, like the week before, 2 weeks before, I guess that it was supposed to come out, my PS4 broke.
Yeah.
So I had to send it to PlayStation, and I was scheduled to get it back like the day after Watch Dogs released.
Yeah.
So that should have told me something already, like about the hype. But then I not only that, I went to the midnight release, and they had sold my collector's edition. I don't know why they decided to sell the one I've already paid for, but they did. So they went around and got me the next day. I went back and I was able to get the damn collector's edition that I got, and I had the season pass with it. And so all this trouble should have told me. But then once the game actually started releasing and all the content, I think the season pass was like $20 or $30. I think it was like $30. I think it was like $89.99 for the game, or $99.99 for the game and the season pass. But if you add up all the extra content that you got with that season pass, I think you pay like $15. And
like $3-5 packs or whatever.
No, it was just one $14.99 pack and one $5. I think one $5 pack. So it must have been. I think it was $20. So
20.
I mean, it wasn't
Still,
even.
Yeah.
It wasn't even the same value as what the damn season pass was sold to me. Now that's the only time that's ever happened, but that's still something that can happen. Like, because you just never know.
Oh, I'm sure it's happened to more games.
Well,
It's
yes, but it's just the first
a
time
lot
it's
of
ever
them are
happened to
probably
me.
games that not a whole lot of people played to begin with, so they're not going to get a whole lot of hype or anything.
But whenever, because I mean, if they're selling season passes, like they might have, say, $80 worth of content ready to, or in their mind of wanting to support.
Yeah.
But if only a certain few number of people actually buy the season pass, then that cuts into their profit on, the actual content that they're planning. So they might actually cut that plan short.
Yeah, they might not have the budget anymore. If they needed $2 million and they only sold 1,750,000, well, they might have to cut the last, eighth or whatever of the planned content because they can't pay the people the hours that whatever it takes to.
I really think that loot boxes should be coming. I think they should come back. I want them to come back. I really want them to really work on, like EA especially, because they're the ones that right now in the spotlight. But any of them that are pay to win, like how Battlefront 2 was on the beta. Now, mind you, they changed the pay to win right after the beta.
Yep.
But nobody wants to seem to remember that part, but they did.
No, they don't, dude. No, they don't fucking want to remember that shit. They don't want to remember that. Hey, together as a voice, we changed this company for the better.
Yeah, and
they're just not gonna be happy at all.
Everybody got what they wanted, and they were like, "Oh well, never mind. We're gonna still complain because loot boxes are in there." The thing is, though, is loot boxes. Though, if you never bought one, guess what? You're getting a season pass for free because you're allowing the few rich people to pay for all your season pass content. And I don't know why that's a problem.
Bro, Shane, I think I was talking to you about this today. Bro, since when did playing a game being considered grinding? I've always looked at that as, if you looked at a game as grinding, that it's not fun to you.
It's not even a fun game. Yeah, it's not a fun
game.
Going
to work is a grind, not playing a game.
Exactly. Thank you. Here's the thing. This is someone that used to play a lot of Korean MMOs, right? That shit, I never looked at it as grinding because I thought it was fun to kill hordes of fucking enemies all day. I'm not joking.
Yeah.
I thought killing.
Well, I mean, I did the same thing with Destiny.
Yeah, thousands of enemies just to get rare drops and shit. I thought that was fun. I loved that, right? That's not for everybody. Some people I could see that it's a grind.
Well, and that's certain. A lot of times, certain parts of game, like in WoW, you might not consider everything the grind. But there are certain parts where there's a level or two where you might have to just keep killing enemies over and over, the same one.
Everybody who unanimously says, everybody who says unanimously, well, we don't want to grind for loot boxes. Think about that, Pete. How many games have you and I or Rambo or Shane have played that have loot boxes in it that we never looked at it as grinding because we're thinking we're getting this DLC, by just continuously playing the fucking game.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny about this?
Didn't even care because, like in Battlefield 3 and 4, they had loot boxes
and you
for the weapons. But yeah, I just like playing with the weapons, and I ended up playing with a bunch of them so much that I ended up getting everything for those weapons, and it was like, yeah, all right.
And the same thing like with Destiny 2, I played the exact same fucking missions all fucking day for like a whole week. The exact same mission every fucking day, the whole fucking week. And never once did I ever think, "Damn, this is a fucking grind." I was like, I was just enjoying myself,
right? Yeah, same. Like that's what, and that's what I'm thinking. When people are unanimously saying, "Well, we don't want to grind for loot boxes," like I can understand the buy to services, like a Battlefield or the games, the campaigns and stuff. But free to play MMOs, really, motherfuckers? Are you serious? Like these guys aren't making money because you're there, right? Like that's not how the free to play market works. You don't just pop in, log in, poof, they're getting paid. It doesn't work that way. But
actually, they're usually losing money.
Exactly.
You being in game takes a server. Actually, it probably takes like several servers. Not to mention high-speed internet connection and all sorts of other things.
If you're not buying microtransactions in that free-to-play game, then you're basically just like taking money from them.
Mm-hmm.
And Neverland. That's not how pay-to-win works. Like, sure, like maybe the guns might be overpowered, but there's not a guarantee that just because a gun's overpowered that you're going to be able to win. Because you could put a fucking tank in my arsenal, and I'm still going to fucking die more than I am going to kill anybody. I mean, I suck at the multiplayer. And the same thing with the pay to win, like you're not guaranteed that, and you're just as guaranteed to actually get a loot box and get that item as it is the person that's going to buy it. So I mean, that's not really pay to win. Pay to win is like where
you can't. There's no way for skill to be outmatched or outmatch that pay to win. So in other words, like free to play MMOs, we had a lot of issues like that where like Silk Road, people could forever beef up their weapons without breaking their weapons. So that way, when you did a PvP match with them, if they paid for their shit, guess what? No matter how many times you attack that guy,
the number difference is just too great.
Never fucking damage them. That is how bad that shit was.
Or they'll never miss and you'll never hit, or whatever it is. Because
Yep.
And that's definitely pay to win.
That's pay to win, not this bullshit of, well, this guy's gun's got a 5% advantage. That's kind of pay to win. Like, no, I could still kill that guy with a 5% advantage over me. That's the difference.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that
was the funniest shit ever, was hunting the paid people in Nexon shooters.
Oh yeah. I did
with
that.
the beginner guns, just the cheapest ass sniper rifle you could get, and just pick off those guys with gold AKs. It was awesome.
Hell yeah. I mean, it's just, I think it's just silly at this point for people to be still going and harping in on EA. Like, EA, I mean, I think I'll be honest with you guys, I would rather play the game that I enjoy playing to get loot boxes instead of having an outcry because I'm a lazy fucking gamer and I want my fucking toys now, that's fucking stupid.
And Neverland, I mean, if you actually want to think that having a very slight advantage is a pay to win, that's, I guess, your own personal thing. But that's not really what pay to win is actually. What it actually is. Pay to win, like you're forced to pay in order to win. Like that's how pay to win actually works. It's not like if you pay, you might get a better. Like that's not. It would be almost like I would be guaranteed a super-powered weapon if I paid money, but it's a very slight chance
nobody can kill you.
Yeah, I mean that would be pay to win, because it's literally like it says, paid to win. I don't know. Anything like as far as I don't know when it comes to EA, I think they're just getting this shit in the stick because.
No, seriously, that's pay to play. Come on now. If you gotta pay to get in Go Get's mom's bed, that's pay to play. Jesus, if you're gonna insult him, just do it right.
Nobody,
I mean, I'm still.
nobody
I
likes
mean, I'm
an
still.
autistic kid trying to be cool, right? Just so we know.
When it comes to Anthem, though, I'm definitely
I'm
like
worried.
holding my. I'm holding my
worried.
reservations about it, simply because you see what Destiny 2's like, and then you see how EA has been. So Destiny 2's kind of like on the borderline of being a shitty way of doing practices. And I mean, Anthem is going to be made by EA, by a studio they really could give a shit less about. So I don't know. I'm not really looking forward to that one. I'm definitely not gonna buy it day one. I'm gonna wait and see what it is about before I just jump on it.
Bro, I'm fucking worried, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little worried. I really am. I'm concerned, dude. Like EA, no matter if they do the greatest thing on the fucking planet or if they do the worst thing on the planet, no matter what, for some reason or another, they're gonna piss off the world, right? Like, I've been pissed off by EA a few times. Sure, I admit that.
Yeah.
Hell, I've even spoken up on some shit that I thought was bullshit. But that was all within reason. You know what I mean? It's not like I fucking overstepped my bounds and was like, yo, fuck this company, fuck everything that they're about, blah, blah, blah. Like, I understand they're a shitty company, okay? I'm not saying they're good. I understand their practices of consuming other competitive developers and then dissolving them after the said purchase is done. That's happened a number of times, right? I'm not saying they're great. I'm not saying they're good. But fuck if I fuck me sideways if it's not when a villain tries to turn good and yet he's still viewed as a fucking villain, dude. Like, I hate that shit more than anything.
Well, I just couldn't understand like why people like what you're saying. Like they listened. You bitched and complained, and they listened, which is something that EA and Activision, those two companies, very seldom do.
Right?
Like they usually just do whatever the fuck they want to do and say, hey, just you're gonna buy it anyway, and we know it. But they actually listened. They actually took the feedback from the beta, and they made changes. And all of a sudden, the changes weren't good enough for everybody. It's like I don't get it. I mean, they were good enough for me. I bought it. I think the campaign's pretty good so far. I haven't played the multiplayer, but again, like with any other multiplayer, the only thing I am is just a shooting dummy. So I mean,
I love shooters. I can play shooters all day. Like
I love the campaigns. I don't know. I've been really focused on campaigns. Like whenever it comes to it. And Sierra, no EA. Oh my God. EA made changes to Battlefront 2 before Disney ever did anything. And then Disney stepped in because gamers still weren't happy with the changes that they actually listened to and continued to bitch and complain. And then Disney stepped in and was like, look, like, now you're fucking with my money. So that's not how it went. I mean, EA actually made changes on their own by listening to the people, and the people simply were not. They just were never satisfied. Oh, did you hear about? That comment in there saying, "What's it called? What's wrong with being a Muslim?" Did you hear about the? In Illinois, there was a bus transit that put out a flyer. Like, one of the perks of riding with him is that you get to be next to people that are like you and not a bunch of Chinese people.
Oh fuck!
They actually said this.
Damn.
I mean, it was like a perk. It was a perk for riding on their bus. And then the University of Illinois put out a thing saying, "Look, while we can't really control what they say and do because they're public transit, you know, we can definitely say that it was fucking disgusting what they did." And so they issued an apology and was like, "Look, man, I personally, I mean, there's too many fucking Chinese people here and that are being imported here to go to school, you know, taking advantage here, and they should be taking more local people instead of international people." And so they doubled down on the whole, you know, ride with us and you'll be less Chinese, you know, be around less Chinese people.
That's fucked up. That's funny.
That was fucking hilarious, man. I was fucking dying laughing when Phil Franklin was talking about it.
That's fucking...
then
that's fucking stupid, but it's funny at the same time.
Yeah, then a state auditor or a state representative actually is now, or a state district attorney has actually now subpoenaed their records because they think that with their statement that they might actually be able to prove that they've been discriminating against some people that they pick up. So they're now looking into the company to see if they're going to.
Jesus.
I was like, damn, man! I've never heard of a company just like doubling down on. Look, there's so many fucking Chinese people here in Illinois. I guess when you don't like Chinese people, I guess what do you do? You know.
Dude, Chinese people are probably what's keeping Illinois afloat right now.
Yeah, no shit. They said there's like, I don't know, like 20% of the college people or whatever are international students, and I guess this transit company thinks that that's wrong. It should be a lower number because it should be there to educate the local people of Illinois rather than international students.
Sierra Era, what did I just say a little bit ago, man? Nobody likes when an autistic kid tries to sound like they know what they're talking about. Jesus.
Yep, very, very true.
I gotta deal with like 30 of those fucks in my fucking server as it is. Like, seriously.
Not wrong.
Oh, man. But honestly, though, what do you, what, shut up, no matter, Dave. What do you guys think of that, though? The whole bill being, like, the guys actually trying to get a congressional hearing on this bill to be passed against loot boxes. Like, I mean, overall, what do you think?
I think it's stupid.
Yeah.
I think it's completely stupid. I think that anybody who wants gamers or the government involved in gaming, I don't think they really understand
the ramifications that could have.
Yeah.
And it's Hawaii. They should be worried about the nuke hitting them, not fucking loot boxes.
No, there's a U.S. senator now looking into it as well.
Yeah, that's Hawaii.
Oh, no. There's actually, like, now even more than Hawaii.
Oh, well, the Hawaii dude needs to back the fuck out. He should be worrying about what to do when Korea fucks his ass up, not fucking loot boxes.
Well, now we also have the actual U.S. government, not just the Hawaii government, but the U.S. government actually looking into it. And they're asking everybody to call their senators and let them know about these loot boxes, so that way they can get a better idea of how they need to approach it. I'm like going, please, God, nobody do this. Just don't call your fucking representatives about loot boxes.
Sorry, go ahead, Shall. I'll let you go first.
No, I was just going to say, I honestly think a lot of them know exactly what they are. They just didn't get what they wanted during the Overwatch Halloween event, so they're pissed.
You know, that's a good point. That could be a thing. But my question is to anybody out there, okay, if you don't like loot boxes, you don't like season passes, what the fuck are these guys going to do? Like, seriously, I don't want to hear them say, make a good game. Because most of these games are selling in the millions. And if they weren't selling in the millions, then they wouldn't be making these games. So you only have yourself to blame for this.
You will hear that. You hear it every day in the Nintendo community. Oh, that port sucks. We don't want that one.
Yeah.
But if they talk, I mean, they keep always referring back to the good old days when games were just, you know, a set price. And I'm like,
$70 fucking N64 game was the good old days?
And I'm like going, but how many games did you buy that ended up having a game-breaking glitch in it, or it just glitches all over the place, and you couldn't do nothing about it? Like, you were just stuck with that purchase.
You shot the like with GoldenEye. You shot the center of the TV stands, the ceiling mounts, and you would have floating mines. It was a bug. Like, I remember that shit. Like to this day, in fact. Or you what was it? You hit like it was like up down down or some shit in the beginning of the screen, and like you went directly to the end of the game. And that wasn't actually a cheat code. That was a fuck up. Like, I mean, Jesus Christ.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There were some good games back then, but I like the idea with internet involved with gaming, because then games can get patched, they can get fixed. I mean, there's so many good things that the internet has brought to gaming, that I don't want to go back to the days where you spent $70 and you get what you got, you know.
Yep. Because playing games nowadays is a fucking grind, guys. I mean,
To me, that just tells me those people shouldn't be playing games.
Yeah, that's what dude. You know what this feels like, Rambo? This feels just like a casual market slowly encroaching on everybody, and because gamers in general don't like loot boxes, I guess. God, see, I hate saying it like that because it sounds like I'm trying to distance myself, and I'm not. Fellow gamers don't like loot boxes, so they're just agreeing with the casual market because they're currently in alignment with what they're saying with each other.
Yep, that's what it sounds like. Because I don't know. None of these people that are that I know that are full on gamers, not casuals, that are complaining about any other game besides Star Wars Battlefront 2. Every other loot box game is fine, but yet they're complaining that they don't want loot boxes in their game. And they don't even stick with their own convictions. So it has to be that they're just trying to align for whatever, I don't know, for whatever reason that they are.
Well, what about those guys that say they don't like loot boxes because it's a grind, and yet they've got what, $2,000-$3,000 in games like Dirty Bomb or Overwatch or fucking any other fucking shooter, Counter-Strike Go? Anyone? We don't like loot boxes, but we're gonna go ahead and put thousands of hours into these fucking games. Oh my god, dude! The hypocrisy in itself is enough to drive a man crazy.
Yeah, and apparently some people have said, well, CSGO is not a $60 game. They said it's not a full price game. And I'm like,
okay, so why, using that logic, then why is everybody hating on Hi-Rez Studios right now? It's
or
free.
Overwatch.
It's fucking free, for fuck's sakes. Oh my god.
But to me, the way I look at it is that, how do you know it's not a full price game? I mean, how are we setting $60 as a standard? That's the standard for AAA, but it's still a full price game for the game it is.
All right, good point. Good point. So Overwatch is a $40 game, right? So since Overwatch is a $40 game
at launch.
30, okay, so 30. So all right, let's say 30. It's a $30 game, so it should be absolutely expunged from the list because Counter-Strike Go is.
Well, that's the way they're looking at it. They're like, well, since I didn't spend 60, then it can have all the loot boxes it wants.
Oh.
But once it hits that $60 mark, then that's where loot boxes should be. And then I'm like, that's not how this thing works.
But let's go ahead and shit on Paladins. And it's a free to play, for fuck's sakes. I mean, Jesus Christ, these people are idiots. I'm telling you.
It blows my mind. And now, did you see what the UK is trying to do with Detroit Become Human?
Oh God! And they're trying to censor it or some shit.
Yeah, they're actually now trying to. I mean, I don't know what they're doing right this second, but the last article was saying that they are going to bring it before their thing to try to see either if Sony doesn't cut it or censor it, then they're talking about banning the game in the UK or the EU or UK altogether.
Oh, for fuck's sakes, dude! Really?
Apparently, I mean, I don't understand. But if you took Detroit Become Human with all of its child abuse and everything in there, and made that a movie,
it would be okay.
No questions asked. No complaint, no government intervention, nothing else. But for some reason, a game has some sort of criticism, and one of the people that from these child abuse protection polices or whatever said that playing the game will turn people to think that this is the way you handle child abuse situations, and I'm like, no, it really, there's no correlation to that. There's no proof of that.
We're just gonna go ahead and give people the automatic label of child mentality. Really? Is that what we're gonna do?
Yeah,
they're so feeble-minded they must believe everything that they're playing on the screen. Oh my god! If that was the case, we'd all be dead.
And I'm like, the only thing it really does is actually show you that if you are ever, I mean, at the most, the only thing I think it could ever do is show you, if you suspect your neighbor is abusing their child, and your suspicion, if you don't do anything on that suspicion, then there actually could be a negative consequence to, that child could die or child could get severely hurt. It shows what consequences to inaction does. And I think it actually really brings this like a subject like child abuse up to the forefront, where most of the people think it's too taboo to talk about child abuse.
Well, yeah, you gotta remember, dude. Like, there's a whole no joke, Rambo. Nobody is capable of having an adult conversation about any of these topics. You have to understand that, dude. Like, remember when we tried to talk about that shit a while back, like how bad it was, and there was like 4 people in the chat saying that we were fucking trying to promote it.
Oh yeah,
remember that?
Yeah.
Like, there's not a single adult alive today that can have this conversation on an open forum without people doing that. There's always
what happened to Milo.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
He couldn't talk about his own situation on a late night drunk podcast without it becoming a huge fucking media incident. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just, to me, I think that no subject should be off limits when it comes to any form of entertainment.
Oh yeah.
And just because you have the word entertainment in there doesn't mean that you're using it for, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see that child get abused because I'm entertained by it. It's the entertainment is simply the medium that in which we partake.
Is Schindler's List not entertainment because it's a horrible tragedy and a sad movie and all these other things?
Yeah.
Like, does it become not entertainment anymore just because it has to tackle a serious subject matter? Get the fuck out of here.
And the way I look about it with the whole loot box situation, I mean, granted, nobody's like made any petitions for Detroit Become Human for the government to get involved, but this is literally just like once the government is actually focused in on gaming, then they start bringing in all different types of things. If they see something in the news about, like in the Daily Mail where this article was written, if for some reason a senator that got the whole thing about the whole loot box thing sees the Daily Mail and sees that about Detroit Become Human, they're like, wait a minute, here's another problem with the game, and we need to talk about this now. So I mean, it's just more and more thing. I think you're really gonna eventually see a lot of it's going to get worse before it gets better. Now that people brought the government into it.
Yep.
And you could simply just change anything you want to about gaming by speaking with your wallet.
Unfortunately, you can say whatever you want and people will take you seriously. That's what really kills me, dude. Like, nobody does that anymore, Rambo. Like, nobody just speaks with their wallet anymore. They would rather just fucking feed into some bullshit narrative because it suits their fucking needs at the time, and that really drives me nuts, dude. That really does. It pisses me off like you wouldn't believe, actually. This is the era in which we see the right slowly cannibalizing each other, just like we're seeing the left currently, and it's really sad, man. Like, and it's not just in gaming; it's in media, it's in the very foundations of your community that you're living around. It's everywhere, dude. It's cancerous as fuck, dude. Like, no wonder people are so fucking cynical sometimes, dude. Like, you see like some of these really negative assholes that come out of nowhere, and it's like you see the shit around them, and it's like, well, no fucking wonder, man. Like, Jesus, what'd you do? Step out of Civil War?
It's. We live in Pete puts it, the greatest timeline ever, but I'm not sure I can ever agree with what Pete says there on that one.
Well, it's certainly the most interesting timeline ever.
That I can probably give you because it's definitely
there you
interesting.
Go. That's a greatest.
Yep. Man, Shane, you got anything you want to talk about, bro? Shane, yo, geek. Do you take off?
He might have, but he didn't say anything about taking off.
Oh, all right. I was gonna see if there was anything he wanted to bring up. What about you, Pete? Anything you want to bring up for good old topics?
And I ain't got shit.
You ain't got shit.
No, I've been sick and I've been sleeping.
Ah.
Yeah, I haven't watched any YouTube. My computer's been down, so I I haven't even had that. I just been I grabbed my girl's PS3 and I've been using that for Netflix.
Hey, Cyrus, what's up, man?
Today I had a conversation in one of the groups. I guess it was about the loot box situation. Apparently, like where the government was going to try to, they were suggesting possibly any games with loot boxes be labeled 21 and over.
Yeah, that was one of the things. That...
And some people, like somebody was commenting, they're going, "Well, good that people need to they need to keep kids off the mature rated games." And I'm like, that's not really how those rating system works. Like anybody should be able to have the ability to play any game they want to, depending on the parent approval. And I said, we sure as fuck don't need the government coming in and trying to enforce how a parent parents.
Right.
Unless they're actually, actively hurting the child.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, how come whenever if I'm playing a game and I hear a kid get on there and I start cussing out the kid, tell him to get off tell him that motherfucker to get off the game because he's not 18, that he can report me and I get banned. I'm like, well, because you broke the fucking term.
Right.
I was like, you broke the fucking terms of service of Xbox Live. It says not to do that. So I mean, like, he's like, well, it also says 18 on the cover of the game. I'm like, yeah, but that's a guidance, not a law or a rule. Like, there's a big difference between an actual set in stone rule and a suggested age range.
Plus, it's none of like I would have told him it's none of your fucking business
Oh,
what
I
this
did.
kid does. Like it's not
I did,
his. It's not his fucking issue. It's his parents' issue.
I was like, if you don't like to play with the kids, then go into like a private lobby or whatever, do whatever. You have no right to tell a parent how they can fucking parent with their kid. Like, there's nothing hurting the kid by playing a fucking Call of Duty game.
And just because he's a squeaker and he annoys you doesn't mean you have the right to yell at him.
Yeah.
It's called a mute button for fuck's sakes, people. Use it. Like, it's really easy. I mean, I don't like that a lot of these squeakers are watching my mixer. You know what I mean? 'Cause my mixer is pretty rancid. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty cancerous. Like, we get into some weird topics, and sometimes it gets pretty R-rated. Like, and that's why I usually have my shit switched to 18+, because I know for a fact if I don't, like, some little squeaker is gonna be on his Xbox fucking tuning in. Because I experimented with it one night, and my views jumped up dramatically because I did that. But I made sure to keep my conversations at PG. But still, like, just knowing that, I mean, the 18+ rating is used for a reason. I'll just say that for streams. I suggest anybody to do that. I don't like little kids watching my shit either. It's kind of unnerving that they're gonna hear me say some stupid shit online. I even have like a 18+ warning. I usually have like a parental advisory, mature content rating. Because I mean, you've been in our calls, Rambo. Like we get into some fucking just dicey shit, and I try not to promote that to little dudes. So, but I mean,
yeah, because I wouldn't want any kid listening to that. I'm not sure. I wouldn't let any of my kids listen to our Discord.
No,
like no
hell
fucking.
no. Dude,
they learn things that they.
When I share this podcast, dude, on Facebook, I'm telling people, if you guys want some raunchy sense of humor, come on in. Because we got some raunchy ass comedy sometimes in here. We say some stupid shit when we're feeling funky. And,
they definitely do say. Notice I said they. I never say stupid shit. So.
Yeah. Right.
Just pointing that out.
Saint Rambo over here.
Yeah, good guy Rambo.
I might be perfect, but these three scrubs.
I mean, come on. He did come up with the Hagen dog thing. Fucking nasty, Rambo.
Dude, that's your fucking like
Oh my
Facebook.
God,
I seriously.
decided to come back.
Well, no, I've been here. My kids are screaming. I don't want to blow everyone's ears out.
Just let them scream, man.
Who cares if your kids are screaming for their fucking father? Just, I don't know, get some fucking chloroform, bro. Knock them out. You're good.
No, they're screaming because the other one took the other one's blanket.
You know what you do? You get chloroform and douse that blanket. Watch what happens.
The last one to take it loses. Our first one, really.
Make sure you snuggle with it, guys.
See, even Cyrus says you brainwashed us all. Rambo.
That wasn't
Well,
me.
yeah, I mean, Rambo likes to post some random ass like live hentai tentacle shit on Twitter, you know.
No, that'd be Metro.
Yeah, I still
Talking
can't
of-
believe. I still can't believe Fat posted that shit today, dude. I was like, bro, like, what the fuck?
I don't even want to know exactly what that was.
That's live tentacle porn, dude. Like,
Oh, well then
that's their
that's
way
what I thought.
of,
But
yeah, that's the hentai industry's way of like saying, hey, we
Man,
can
I
make
thought that was
live
a dick
action
that had been through like a bad house fire or something. I didn't think it was a tentacle.
How do you
one
know
that's
what
been
that
in
looks
Los
like,
Angeles
Shane?
too long.
I don't know what that looks like. It just looked like if you were to take Freddy Krueger's face and put it on a dick, that's what that looked like.
It was something that I never wanted to see again.
I heard Rambo burned up Brim's headphones. That motherfucker lit my candle when I went to go take a piss after drinking all night. That's right. That was him.
Wait, you burned your headphone?
My G430s, I set them on my desk and like
With
both
a candle.
like the candle was next
A
to him.
lavender scented candle. Like the bitch he is.
You shut your heart out, Pete.
You do know if you were using Razor phones that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
That's what he bought after he burnt those ones.
Should have got the Corsairs.
Well, these were on sale. They were cheap, $35.
I still have my 430s. They sound great and they don't smell like fire.
Mhm.
I mean,
And don't have melted plastic.
I'm gonna stab. I'm gonna stab somebody. Be prepared to have a dick in your nose tomorrow night, Shane.
Ooh,
what's tomorrow night? Like, should I light a candle for that occasion or
If you got either bubblegum or lavender. Let's do this.
that candy apple?
Oh,
might
lavender
give him
now triggers
PTSD,
Brim.
though.
He has Vietnam style flashback. Oh fuck. Oh,
that might give him PTSD seeing a candle lit.
that's right.
Yeah, well, like I know the opening scene to Black Ops 1 where the dude's strapped in the chair and sees all the numbers and stuff. That's Brim when he hears a lighter now.
Hey, so I got a question. You got the A10s or the A20s? Speaking of headphones, Rambo.
I got the A10s.
How are they? Are they good?
They're good, but the ear cup size is really small. Like they they cover my ears, but it's kind of more uncomfortable than the A50s because the A50s are real big,
Yeah.
but the A10s are like just right at my ear size. So I mean, they're kind of a little bit uncomfortable
snug?
if I'm using them. Yeah, if I'm using them for a long time.
Yeah.
Lie to him, Rambo, because he'll go buy them and then he'll get in trouble.
Oh, they're great. Yeah, I would suggest you go buy them now.
Yeah,
All right.
Brim won't be hosting the next podcast.
In fact, go ahead and just leave the computer on and go to Walmart now and get them.
See, I like the way Rambo thinks. Like he's just like my woman. He enables me.
That's what I would do.
You should also tell her that you want some more Xboxes.
Yo, I should be like, yo, babe, don't you know we need another Xbox because you need to get one too. And then when it comes to the house, so I'm taking it downstairs. See ya.
But it's so we can game closer together. That's
Keep
what you
that
need to
shit
tell her.
going?
So what?
Keep that shit going. Every new game you get, we need to buy another copy, babe, so you can play with me.
And a separate TV.
Babe, you need to get another.
So that way you guys,
You need to get
you each have your own box and your own TV.
Yeah, you need a new TV.
Play multiplayer together.
You need either a new pair of gaming speakers or headphones, but I'd suggest you get headphones, especially the new Astro model that just came out. Like-
Don't worry, they're totally yours.
Oh my god, that would be hilarious.
It works.
It works. Now I saw the mic quality on those things are actually really good. They actually outbeat the A50s.
I haven't
far as
ever-
mic quality.
I haven't really tested the mic quality, but I remember you saying that.
Like, if I put this way, the A50s ended up having the same mic as the A10s, I would have bought them forever ago.
So, Rambo, if you seriously want an original PS4 and an original Xbox One, next time you're in Walmart or GameStop, because you can't buy them new anymore, you're going to have to, I guess, get a little more risky. You're going to have to, like, act like a retard. And trust me, this works because I've done it. Act like a retard and kind of run around the store or whatever, and then yell at her, "Babe, I'll totally let you have sex with me if you buy this for me," and she'll do it.
He's
I'm not sure.
lying.
My wife would just kick me.
I mean,
Okay.
but she'd laugh though, right?
Like, if you chase her around and make funny noises and then say that afterwards, it'll probably work. It got Brim a PS4.
Yeah.
and it got me pizza.
He's not lying. I mean, I did get my PS4 solely based on the fact that I promised my girl I would totally let her have sex with me if I got a PS4, and she said okay. I'm like, really? She's like, yep. I'm like, oh yes.
See, when you do it in a public place, it just works better.
And it was public. Yeah, it was public. That was the funny part
I would
about
say
it.
pizza I can see. The PS4 probably not.
You just got to amp it up. You just got to act like a bigger retard before you say that.
Bro, like, you have to do everything in the prerequisites, which is anything from making goat sounds by air humping her ass to popping a finger in her ass and saying "winner, winner, chicken dinner." Like, I mean,
Yeah. Fucking drooling, all that shit, man. Come on.
I mean, to be honest, I mean, she'd probably not recognize the difference. Like, she'd probably think it was just a normal day at Walmart.
She's like, "Who is this dumbass that I'm with right now? This is not Rambo. This is not Charlie. Who the fuck is this clown?"
I mean, well, last time we went to Walmart together, I walked next to her and said, "Wow, Sandra, that's racist," really loud, like 10 times. And she did give me $10, and I got to go across the street to GameStop. So you could try that. Like, because people look, it's like there's quite a bit of black people out here. So if you go, "Wow, that's racist," hell loud, head turns. I mean,
oh, I imagine, yeah. But my wife would probably punch me at that exact same moment.
Dude,
Right.
Dude, his wife's gonna throat punch him.
then you just scream abuse or rape, or I mean, you can get away with it.
I mean, he's not wrong. I'm just saying. He is not wrong. I have done quite a few things to Val in public.
I don't know. My wife is. I've never been able to embarrass my wife because, like, me and her are both kind of like we don't really give a shit, and so it probably wouldn't. I mean, the only thing that really probably would work is like her punching me, and then I'd just be knocked out. And
No, let her punch you, and then you're like, "Yeah, do it harder, you dirty bitch." Bro, I've done that shit like at at a restaurant where she like smacks me on my arm, and I'm like, "Oh!" She's like, "Shut up!" Like, she starts laughing and getting embarrassed, and like she gets like borderline pissed. She's not like quite mad, but she's still kind of smirking, like, "You piece of shit! What are you doing?" Like, I've done shit like that to her.
Or when she hits you, fall down on the ground, pretend to like go into a seizure, and then like wink at her and say, "I'll keep doing it if you don't get me what I want." I mean, you know, it could work.
That's hella funny,
it would definitely get the workers around.
bro.
Yeah, see?
Put some pressure on her.
You know what? Throw yourself to the ground when she like barely bumps you. Why did you punch me? What's wrong with you? Buy me a PlayStation 4 winch and I'll shut my mouth.
My kid.
Come on,
did
baby.
that
The
to me.
judge told you couldn't do that to me no more.
My kid did that to me one time. Like in the, I put my hand on their back and like trying to push them towards the door, and they acted like I was like shoved them, and they went like flying across the store. And I went over to them. I was like, "If you want to know what it's like when I actually shove you, you'll keep doing that shit." I was like, "Because I will shove you just so you know what it's like. I don't give a shit about these people in the store."
Dude, my little brother did that to us when like we'd barely touch him, and he'd throw himself into a door, break the door, and then like go tell my dad like, "Oh, he beat my ass." Like it worked every time. He never believed we didn't fucking throw him.
That's fucking funny, dude. Like, your brother's like, dude, he just totally gave me a black eye. He comes with like 2 shiners. Like, what the fuck? Like, dude,
All you do is walk by him too.
Bro, then like a kid was talking shit to you on your move out here. Like, you're like, no, mister, we won't get inside your van. Like,
Oh no, that was a week before I left California. I was just driving, and we went by the library, and I used to drive a white Honda minivan. That's what I was driving at the time. And these punk kids were on the side of the road. And keep in mind, it's a library, a bunch of people around, and I'm at a red light. I can't go anywhere. And they go, "No, mister, we don't want any of your candy." And I turned to them, I'm like, "Fuck you guys." I mean, it was funny. I mean, it sounds like something I would have done, but damn.
They were trolling you in real life.
bro, that shit was funny.
I would have died laughing.
Like that, like his his wife told me about that, and I was like, "Yo, that is hilarious, dude. You should have recorded that shit. Then you should have been like, no, I got ice cream sandwiches, guys. Fuck candy."
Like, but I just picked up some good shit, man.
You guys ever snorted fucking Ajax before? Check it out. Oh fuck, man!
Ended up getting arrested for parking, just basically like coming to a red light. That was it.
I almost ran the red light because I was like, oh, fuck. Yeah, there was a lot of people outside.
Oh man. So, Shane,
Yeah.
what do you think, man? What should game developers do, dude? Like, it seems like everybody around here in these parts of the internet realm has these answers that we shouldn't have loot boxes, but they don't like their DLC practices either. So, I mean, $130 games, is that what our future's gonna be?
Well, I mean, if they're going to continue with the loot boxes, and there's a good chance of them being like put down to where, you know, it's not going to be okay to use loot boxes, at least bring them to the Nintendo platform so they can experience them first, or 2, I should say.
Right.
I have a feeling we're going to start seeing some very expensive games.
$130 games, and they're like, well, why is this so expensive? I wonder.
I don't miss trying to like mow fucking 50 lawns to buy an N64 game. I mean, I don't miss that one bit, and these fucking kids are going to learn what that's like. They keep bitching about loot boxes.
Well, people have you believe that they weren't that expensive back then.
They're full of shit.
But, of course, these people I don't think actually lived back then, with the ones that are saying that, but because I know for a fact that, like, I remember,
back then, it was less regulated. Remember that shit, Rambo? Because each retailer was able to choose their MSRP. One store you paid 70, one store you paid 60, some stores you paid 50. Like,
look up a Walmart sales ad from like 95. Fucking on sale. These like Super Nintendo games are more expensive than games now.
Yep.
Yeah, they'll always come up with a random ad that shows like $49 games. But I'm like, that's not. You can find ads with the $79 price tag or $79.99 on sale, and I'm like, yeah, it was a lot different back then. I mean, there was never a base price for a AAA game. It was basically you just never know what it's going to be until it came out.
Yep.
I don't want to go back to those days myself.
No.
So, Ryan Reynolds is going to be Pikachu. Did you hear about that, Rambo?
What?
Pikachu and that Pikachu detective or something.
Yeah, he's going to voice Pikachu because in that particular Pokemon movie, Pikachu will speak English and not just his name.
Well, he also speaks English in Pokemon movie.
Oh yeah, that's right. I heard about that. Like people
Yeah.
like lost their shit. Yeah. So yeah, Deadpool is also Pikachu.
It seems like Deadpool's going to be going away here soon because the talks between Disney and Fox are actually they should have a deal reached by next week.
Yeah, I was reading about that too. I'm really not excited about that at all.
I'm not either because I mean, you're like PG-13 Deadpool, and there's going to be a lot of franchises actually to me ruined.
I mean,
Yeah.
You can't propose to a woman half naked, pulling a ring pop out of your ass, and still keep a PG-13 rating.
I
Nope.
know, right?
So-
That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't get better than this.
I don't know. I hope that somehow they still allow like creative freedom with Deadpool. I don't see him doing it, but I mean, not only just Deadpool, but there's other ones as well. But I hope that they really they allow it because that's gonna suck to go from that Deadpool that we watched to a Disney Deadpool.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? It's gonna be amazing. You're gonna fucking love it, eh? Papa!
Oh.
We got this.
What was funny is somebody from the Windows Central, Jez Corden, the guy that I talked to, he tweeted out something about his gaming disappointments or whatever, and he mentioned Microsoft's lack of first party or lack of exclusives. And there was a guy, or I think it was a girl. It was a girl. Responded to him was like, "Well, what do you think about this? Do you think this is actually possible that Phil gets to go into the unlimited funds vault of Microsoft and buy EA?" And they're like, "No,
What?
EA makes millions of fucking dollars. There's no way that they're just gonna buy EA." And he's like, "Well, I think that if they really want to put Sony out of business, they could actually go out and buy EA and Activision and Rockstar." And I'm like,
No, they can't.
they don't have that much money. I don't see that. I mean, Microsoft's rich.
I highly doubt I'll see.
Let's think they're a big company, but most of its assets for the company.
Yeah.
It's not like he has $100 billion just on hand, ready to go. I mean, it's all tied up in buildings, servers, people.
And it would take more than $100 billion to buy Rockstar, EA, and Activision.
Yeah, I mean,
it would bankrupt them.
these are all multi-billion, usually multi-tens of billions of dollars each for each company. Yeah. I mean,
I was like,
probably nobody has enough money to buy all three of them.
I was just thinking to myself,
I highly doubt it.
How do you sit back and really think that that's a possibility?
Oh, man.
Like, I guess that this person actually really fell for the idea that Microsoft is just unlimited money. They just are sitting back with all this cash. Hell, if you look at it, Microsoft's actually even hurting on the business side of things too. Like their Surface Books and all that, not Surface Books, but what they actually deliver to businesses are getting beat out like by a Chromecast. I think Chromecast or Chromebook or something like that. That Google's actually giving them a run for the money on the business side of
You're
things.
talking about Surface Pros, right?
Well, no, how Microsoft does deals with businesses, like to either do software or hardware for the business.
Yeah.
Well, they're being undercut by Chrome. I think Chromecast or Chromebook or Chrome
OS.
something. Google.
It's Chrome OS.
Yeah, the Google side of things. I'm they're not looking really good, they're not trending upwards in any of their categories that they actually own right now. So I mean, I don't see them. Yeah, I mean, let's just go spend $10 billion to buy EA for some ungodly reason.
Well, is it like for every $600 piece of software they develop, you can find an alternative for it now for cheaper?
Yeah.
If not free. I mean, they have what is it? Fucking Microsoft Note, and you can go and get the Google Doc sheets and stuff that do the same thing. I mean, Not to mention, like, everybody that's in your emailing list can actually access under the same suite for free. So, I mean, like, Windows right now, there's a reason why Windows 10 is also running base Linux, because they know that they needed to do something to hold their grounds as a top tier OS up, you know. And then you look at Linux, dude. Linux is slowly getting there, right? Like, if Linux gets into a stable place where all the software can run perfectly and have no issues, dude, Windows is gonna be hurting, like, no doubt. Like, all they're gonna have left to survive on, and that's without cutting anything. And I'll be surprised if they didn't have to cut anything, to tell you the truth. Would be their deals with like Dell, HP, multiple corporations that are their clients, like software security, networking, and shit. I mean, they are getting a run for their money this time around. That's for sure. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I mean, like in game, I mean, basically in really every aspect of their business.
Yep.
So I mean, these people, I don't know, they've fallen for the idea that Microsoft is too big to fail, and that's just not really the case.
The name Microsoft may be too big to fail, but there are like divisions of Microsoft that are more than capable of failing. Hold on.
You're fine.
No, you're good, Shane. Don't worry about it, dude. I know.
Those kids were having some fun, though.
Well, his little girl loves attention, and if she doesn't get Daddy's attention, well, you hear it. She screams. I want to say she's 1, I think.
Oh yeah, like yeah.
She's
whenever
either
they want
1
attention,
or she's about to turn 2. One of the two.
When they want attention, you give them attention. They will make themselves known.
He said, "Oh, cool. Hey, Rokon, let me know how that is, dude." Bro, seriously, like, I was looking into 1060s and 1070s, and that was a hard sell for me, because then I'm kind of looking at that, and I'm like, I could just go and put this down on an X.
Yeah, the 1060 is like basically an X, the Xbox One X or whatever, and I don't know. I mean, it's a 580, but I mean, the 1060 comes close.
Yeah.
But I mean, if like I don't know, like I just had no interest in going back to. I looked at the GPUs and I almost bought one, but I thought I'm never gonna play on the fucking PC. So I, went and bought me the consoles, because I'm more at home and more, I guess, happier on the consoles than I am on PC.
So what? You're never coming back, man? Ever?
Probably not.
Not even for video editing for your YouTube? Your YouTube editing?
Well, like video editing and stuff like that, yeah. I mean, but as far as gaming goes.
Well, shit, give me your fucking Steam account, bro. No, I'll say it right now. I'll take your Steam account, nigga. Like, shit. I'm not afraid to say it. Yeah, man, you don't want your Steam account? I'll be more than happy to take it out of your hands, even though I probably own everything you do.
I always look for a way to sell that thing, but I can never figure out a way without getting caught or whatever. So, and I don't know anybody.
TOS, isn't it?
Yeah, and I don't know anybody that, like, on the side that would buy it without having to ever, put it out on the open where people would know.
Well, I mean.
So it just sits there.
Well, change that email address over to my email address, and then whenever you want it back, I'll just give it back to you whenever you're ready. I'll like I said, I'll use it. It'll be, you know what? That could be the group shared Steam.
There's definitely a lot of games on there.
Well, yeah, I mean, you and I, like, during like your first fucking year you were on here, like, we were buying games like crazy.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like, oh, yo, man, check this out. This is on sale. And I'm like, oh, shit, is it? All right, let's do this.
I'm like that now with consoles, though. I always look at the weekly sales every week, and I'm like, shit, well, okay, well, I'll buy that one. And
yeah.
I think Over asked, like, why I buy games that I don't play, and I'm like, because if you buy like 7 games at one time, it's kind of hard to get through all those 7 games before the next week's sales come out. And it ends up being like to where I end up having a hell of a lot more games than what I do time.
Yeah. Bro, have you calculated your Steam years yet, dude? I got like a ridiculous amount of time to play to get all these games beat, and I don't know if I'm gonna want to waste that much of my life.
No, I really don't want to see that because that's a.
I bet you're in like the 6 to 7 year mark. I think Infinite is at like almost 13 years. He's like double me.
Yeah.
I'm at like 7, I think. Like, oh fuck.
Is it on that Steam? Is it on that Steam calculator?
Yeah, yeah. It calculates your worth and how much time it takes to beat all the games that you have.
Let me take a look here. I'll go to the calculator. This is a scary. I always hate whenever I see how much this thing's actually fucking worth.
Enemy recon aircraft in the air.
He's like, fuck! So much cash going into this account.
There's been so much fucking like money dumped into this damn Steam account. Just like basically, it was kind of weird because went from this to like never playing it. Like, and then my damn PS4 is like my Steam account. Actually, I think I own more games on my PS4 now than I do on my Steam.
Well, you play more. You play your PS4 a lot more, so.
Oh yeah.
That's insane.
Much more.
Yeah, they like I don't know, like man, that's crazy to me. Like, what games did you like? How many games do you have on yours counting? Last time I checked mine, it was like 670 something.
518. That's what it says on the Steam calculator. And my current account value is $7,932.
That's it? Just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
And I don't know. It doesn't. I don't see where it tells you like how long it takes to. What's it called? How long it takes to actually beat the games. I don't see that part.
It should be there.
89% of my games I have not played.
I'm probably around that. I wouldn't doubt it. I'm lazy, dude. Like I get these games and I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm totally gonna play this.
Yeah.
And then I look at it and I'm like, am I gonna play that right now? No, I'll play it later. And then later never shows up because I'm always playing the next thing.
Yep. That's what ends up happening to me. Like I'll get to the point where I'm like, yeah, I'll play this, and then the next game that I actually been waiting to play or waiting for it to launch comes out, and I buy it, and then that one game that I was really gonna play, it gets put in it back, and then I never even think about it again.
I almost miss like when the industry was a little dry. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
where it
me too.
It forced you to like really look at your collection and be like, you know what? I didn't know I had this. I better start playing this. Fuck.
Yeah, I really wish that they'd go back to that.
That's what happened with the PS3 genre with me. Was like I bought a shit ton of PC games, and we were so dry on fighters and shit on the P3 that I actually went back to the PC and I started playing a lot of RPGs and shit that I missed. Now
I really wish
I don't even do that. I'm just like on my Xbox all day.
I wish it would come back though to where like because in the summertime there used to be like that lull where you could. For the first 3 or 4 months of summer, you could play a shit ton of games of your backlog and never have to really worry about releases. But now there's like Sony, especially, they're starting to release a lot of their exclusives like for the first, I don't know, 6 or 7 months of the year. And then we also have some third parties like releasing during that time, and so now it's like there's really never a lull anymore.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I guess is good, but at the same time is I'd rather have a lull to where I can actually get through some of this backlog and actually have a reason to get through some of this backlog.
Yeah. Speaking of backlogs, hey Shane. He's like quiet again. Oh yeah, that's right. His little girls keep this continuously going. He said he was gonna try to meet your at least 1,000 points a month quota.
Oh, and Rainbow points.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's got his work cut out because in the past 2 days I've got 2,000.
Yeah, no shit.
I went from the 20th place on my leaderboards to first place in 2 days.
Dude's only been back on Xbox like 2 weeks, if that.
Yep. I have 2,000, exactly 2,000. So, and by the end of the week, I'll have more because I'm gonna go buy some more games. And
What's your total score so far? You know what? Don't worry, I got you. I can look this up right now. For those of you guys, you know what? Let's do that because I keep forgetting that I can do that. Because you're on my list, I believe, right, Rambo?
yeah, it should be.
All right, check this out, you guys. This is how much this motherfucker plays his games. He makes me look. Makes me and Shane together look like fucking lightweights. All right, let's see. Community. Or I thought is a community on the friends list or some shit.
No, you hit the Xbox button and go over to the trophy.
Ah, there we go. Launch game to achievements, gamer score leaderboard. Here we go. Rambo's Corner, 2,000 points ahead of me. All right. Grimpachi is second. Johnny Boy 470 is third. Black Spartan 765 is fourth, and Shaner is fifth.
Wait a minute, he's 2,000 ahead. That means you haven't gotten one this month.
Yeah.
All right, so check this guy out. So I just got my Xbox in, what, 14, Shane, or something like that?
Yeah.
13, 14? And I'm at 12,755. Now I'm thinking to myself, that's not bad. That's all right. Look at Rambo shit, man. Like, Jesus.
I'm at 47,027.
Yeah, I got mine the same year you did, Grim.
Yeah, I've only been on
Jeez.
Xbox at ever for 3 years.
Wait, you've only been on it for 3 years?
Yeah, I've never got an achievement until 3 years ago.
Holy crap. We're doing something wrong, Shane. I don't know what it is, but I'm about to figure it out.
Well, I have double your score, and I've had mine the same time as you.
So haven't you had your Xbox account forever though, or no?
Yeah, I've had my account forever, and I may have gotten a handful of achievements on 360.
Oh. My goodness, man. What the hell? You had you had Counter-Strike on the 360, Rambo?
I didn't.
Then why is this coming up on our list? Because I don't own it on the 360.
I don't know why CS:GO. It's not on my. It's not even in my game library.
God damn it, Sierra.
What did he say?
He just messaged me.
Oh.
All right. On Xbox, bro, like, seriously though, like, everybody that says that Rambo doesn't play his fucking games, he just buys. Like, I mean, look at this shit, dude. Like,
Oh, I play him.
fuck. I mean, even Shane's got me beat, and he's been on this for as long as I have. You said, Shane, right?
Yeah, maybe like a year longer, but all I ever did was play COD on the 360.
That's probably how come yours is so low from that, because like you do a lot of just the same multiplayer over and over again.
Oh yeah, we're both kind of addicted. And see, he's at 23, 30, 42. And I was beating his ass on achievements for the longest, like every month. And then I stopped.
Well, yeah, I mean, because you kept playing or you switched over to multiplayer, and I switched from multiplayer to story-based games.
Yeah. I mean, I am kind of... Wait, is that me or you? Hold on. Oh, never mind, that was you. I'll probably end up stomping your ass with Tony Hawk, so that's all good. I got your ass beat with Paladins.
I'm gonna try my best to hit 50,000 before the end of the year.
50,000, huh? That's pretty lofty.
You're what, like 3,000 away?
Yeah.
Oh, you could do that.
Yeah, I know. Destiny 2's DLC dropped, and so I haven't played it yet. So I'm kind of wanting to go play it, but at the same time, I want to get to 50,000. So I just kind of one of the things. Sometimes I sit there in front of my gaming like just go, shit. What do I want to do? Xbox or PlayStation or just. I hate. I mean, sometimes I love all the choices I have, but sometimes I really hate all the choices that I have.
I feel you on that. I'm like that too sometimes, where I'm like, you have all the games on the planet, but you don't know what you want to play. You're like, yeah, I'm totally gonna fucking play this today, and the next thing you know, you're like, I don't want to do this today. Like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, that was the. I mean, everybody sees like how many games I have, and they're like, man, I would love to have that many games. Like, you'd never get tired of. I'm like, yeah, you just get confused on what the hell you.
Oh, dude, you get sort of overwhelmed, and then you kind of give it that fuck it like treatment, and then even though the games are good, you're just like, I don't want to deal with this. Too much to deal with.
And I've got most of my games installed, and I'm actually thinking about going back and like uninstalling a lot of them, and then just installing certain ones, so that way, I'm kind of forced to play the ones that are on the screen, and then get through those, and then kind of put a new set on there.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Dark Phoenix, you thought Halo 5 was good?
All right, Rambo, we've been over this one, and even though Jay Sentries isn't here, Brimstone and I like Halo.
Yeah, but Halo 5? That was...
That's it, Brim, get him. I don't know.
That was such a letdown.
Well, we've been over this. Like, I already know why he thought it was a letdown. It's the same reason why everybody thought it was a letdown. But when you got past all
the
that
marketing,
shit, it was
yes.
good. When you get past all that shit, it's actually a good game. Especially if you understand the storyline.
Yeah, I really never cared about the Halo storyline.
Well, that's because you're still hung up on fucking Ellie and The Last of Us, so you know that's your thing.
Well, yeah, but
Fucking
actual good
female.
games, you know.
Fucking female. Yeah, good games that require you to use baby wipes and a fucking tissue box and bonbons.
I'm just saying, there's a reason. I'm just saying that there's a reason why on the most anticipated games, that's either multi-plats or PlayStation exclusives, and there's no Xbox games on there at all. I mean, I'm just saying. There's a reason for these things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's called a shitty community that doesn't want to back anything. That's what that reason is. I'm not gonna lie about that. Hell yeah, the community here sucks. They don't put their money where their mouth is.
Oh, what was funny is Kids Move in a song, Halo Gears Forza. Don't ask me why he made that song, but he said that he's on the Xbox where gamers beat their games, and not on the PlayStation where gamers list their games. I'm like, dude, half the fucking achievements in every fucking game are rare. Like, y'all don't fucking beat games. That's just like.
Well, Rambo found a pretty, not surprising rare achievement in Super Lucky Tales, but what was it, Rambo? Like.
Beating the third world. Just getting past it.
Really?
Yeah, and then basically every achievement in the fourth world, the final world, is actually rare.
Oh shit! Look at this, you guys. Sierra Air Cheese 832 has got a gamer score that's almost comparable to yours, Rambo.
Holy shit!
I know. That's what I'm saying. Let's go check out this man's profile. I'm almost proud of you, Sierra Air. Payday 2 Crime Wave Edition.
I don't know why you're wasting your time with that shit, but...
I know, right? It's a shitty game, like, really. It's all good, you know.
It's so shitty, it's been on sale probably like 10 times, and neither Brim or myself have bought it. And that says a lot.
What game is that?
Payday 2.
Oh, God, yeah, I won't.
Isn't that free to play on the PC?
I wouldn't doubt it.
It was for a while. Like, if you downloaded it, you could keep it forever.
Okay, because I was gonna say, I know I have it. I'm pretty sure I have it, and I know I didn't pay for it.
Yeah.
And I knew one of those cops and robbers style games had gone free to play, or yeah, if you downloaded it, like a free weekend. But if you got it, you got to keep it forever.
Yeah.
It doesn't look. I mean, it doesn't even really look fun, and I've heard a lot of bad things about it.
That's because like the lockbox system in that is like CS:GO, and everybody like sort of giving it a pass. And it's retarded.
So, Rambo, did you hear Steam drop the Bitcoin option, like to pay with Bitcoin?
Ooh.
I read that, but that's actually going. I think to me that's going to somehow affect the Bitcoin pricing.
Oh, I'm
Well,
sure it is.
There's $40 billion worth of Bitcoin that's unaccounted for.
Steam
I'll
would make
take
a
some.
hell of a laundering service.
Right? I mean, although Microsoft still accepts Bitcoin
You can buy games with Bitcoin.
Yeah.
from their website, yeah.
No, I never.
Wait, not on the actual Steam like application?
No, from Microsoft website.
Oh.
I don't know. Whenever Bitcoin came out, I always thought it was because like you had to pay like $7 for $1 in Bitcoin. And I was like, well, the fuck, I ain't doing that shit because like that's like just dumb backwards ass math. And now I really wish I would have done it. But when I looked throughout all the years, like the places that took Bitcoin, it was very little. And I was like, well,
Yeah, for a long time, yeah.
yeah, that was something I was like, I just don't understand like buying this stuff and then never being able to spend my fucking money because everywhere that took it, I never frequented ever.
What's really fucked up is like when it was low and people were spending it, like they weren't even getting the full value of what they were getting that they put into it. So like if you wanted to buy a product with it, it was really low amounts of product versus what you were spending. It was really a ripoff. That's why I never got into it really.
I really wish hindsight 2020 that I would have bought at least $100 in Bitcoins back whenever like in the very very beginning, and just kind of just sat there.
Be a multi-millionaire, yeah.
Yeah, because I would have been. I'd cash them out as soon as it hit 10,000, and I'd have been like, "Cool, I'm good."
You're like winner chicken dinner. Whoa!
Like now it's time to go buy some more PS4s.
And trade them
Rambo
in.
would have one in every color.
He was like, "I want one of your PS4s in every color. I need a matching controller too."
I literally want to light my entire room in PS4 lighting that looks like RGB.
Yeah. Well, I mean, why not? I mean, that little blue light that shines on it, like when it's turned on, I could maybe set them around my room strategically to where it kind of lit up my room with an ambient glow.
Yeah.
The Xbox though, you really can't because it's just that one little circle that lights up.
That's okay because we all bleed green, so it's fine.
I tell you what though, when you have all that on your entertainment center and you have like I think 5 external hard drives hooked up, it gets pretty fucking loud.
Oh, I bet.
And hot, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, the heat's
I was
not
gonna
actually
say,
too bad.
Yeah, in the winter, the heat's great.
Well, no, I mean
I stay warm, right? The rest of my family room is freezing, but right next to my computer, it's fucking nice and toasty.
So
You have
from
an
the-
AMD machine, Pete, so.
Yeah, you have a space
I
heater.
have what?
An AMD machine.
Yeah.
Excuse of Ryzen and Intel's chips. Which ones are the
AMD's always
space
been
heaters
space
now?
heater.
Well, AMD is just a natural space heater.
Now Vega, I will give it to you. That is quite the space heater, but it's liquid, so it's all good.
But whenever, like, my well, I mean, they used to get really hot, like, whenever I had them in the entertainment center, but now that I put them on top, like, you can, like, there's barely any heat at all.
Oh, it gets airflow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait until your granddaughter starts walking around and reaching for things.
I think that's one of the biggest things with cooling in consoles is that when they're doing the tests in the factory or the research center or wherever the fuck it is, they're doing it pretty much open air
Yeah.
in a really good temperature controlled room. That's 70 on the dot, and it's always 70, and it's 70 in the whole building, as opposed to a random person's like unheated or uncooled shack.
In a
Or crappy
entertainment
apartment
center.
building, or whatever, right? Yeah, but it gets, hotter than that, and then they put it in an entertainment center, or some other more enclosed space, and yeah. I think they need to start, because the PS2 and 1 never had this problem.
Well, it didn't really have the power to.
I mean, the PS2 got, it
My PS2,
got pretty warm. But it
I don't,
did. You
I
could,
don't remember.
you could
them
put it
getting
vertical,
one.
and you could stick it right in between, your TV and a
Do we not remember?
Oh yeah, you could.
else.
Do we not remember the power draw that the 9800 GX2s used to have? Like, god damn. You want to talk about heaters? Dude, you could cook with those things. And that was NVIDIA back in the day.
Dude,
Yeah, I
my
don't-
290X, that sucker,
I don't remember it.
93 degrees.
I don't remember any consoles up until like the PS3 360 era that actually got hot. Now my Nintendo did, my NES did simply because I left it on 24/7 because you had to leave it on to beat a game. But other than that, I mean, like
We did that with the
wouldn't have.
PS1 and 2, but because we didn't have memory cards.
Oh, I had to get a memory card. I remember getting the PS1 thinking, yes, I can finally get away from leaving it on all night long, and nope. When I went to save it, it was like you insert a memory card. I'm like, what? Like they didn't tell me this shit. So I had to go back to the fucking store and like search for memory cards. And for the longest, like after launch, you couldn't find memory cards in the fucking store.
Oh yeah, and all the ones they had were super, super low capacity. It wasn't until later that they started having the ones that were like a couple hundred megs, where you could store more than like 8 save games on it.
Yep. And I remember whenever you got your
And that
memory
was the
card,
thing we got. Like for PS1, it was all right because there was only like 2 or 3 sizes,
God damn it.
and if you got even the second largest one, it was good enough. You could save most of your games on it. But PS2, yeah, we had like the 32 meg, and we could only save like 20, 30 games on it tops.
Yeah, and I remember whenever you got your memory card full, and then you had to like scroll through there and try to like pick which one you wanted to delete.
Figure shit
Like-
out, yeah.
Like, oh damn, like am I gonna go back and finish that one? I don't know. That's gonna suck. And then you end up deleting one and then either pissed off at yourself later or okay. And those are the days, man. I'm glad we're done with memory cards.
Well, they
We
might
kind
have
of just
started
upgraded to
doing
hard
something
drives.
like it.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. We've gone to hard drives, but now the hard drives are getting tiny compared to the games and the stuff that's being saved on it. So
Is it me?
maybe
It's like-
memory card style hard drives would be best.
I was just gonna say, like, we should have just switched to SD cards, man.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like they could build their own. They could even make like not proprietary, but go in combination with the OE manufacturers for the memory chips and the boards and shit, and come up with your own little in-betweener, something around the size of either 2.5-inch SSD or like an M.2 or something, and just have them manufacture a shitload of them. You could make them in a whole range of different sizes.
Look at
Because
that,
flash
the
memory and all
experimental
that.
fucking. Look at the experimental thumb drives that they have now. That like you
Yeah.
can
But
do,
why
like, a
would you
terabyte.
want that though?
Well, because then it would be like if it was if you could do it with thumbsticks,
Well,
then it would be super
SD
easy to have a couple of 2 terabyte thumbsticks. I mean, dude, games are starting to. It's going to be to where games are 1 terabyte or 2 each. So
No,
you're
I
gonna have
can't. I can't get with that because I would lose my fucking thumbstick with my game on it. Or I mean, I like the idea of having this big ass.
Go. You didn't have
Well, you
it
could
over
you could
there.
still do an external hard drive, but for people who don't want to buy an external hard drive, the internal storage that they have is just not cutting it. So they got to come up with a way to
Well, I mean,
have
you
a couple of slots where you could buy 2.5-inch size drives and just slide them in, and you could add 4 terabytes each that way or something
Well, I mean,
like
you
that.
can. Yeah, but I mean, you can put. I mean, obviously the thumb drives haven't got to I don't think terabyte levels yet, but
You can get them, but they're pretty expensive.
you can-
It's
you can plug in a thumb drive to your Xbox or your PlayStation and save your games onto those. I personally don't want to because, like I said, I
well,
would lose
USB
it.
doesn't have the speed though. That's the thing. If they did
Well, see, yeah, but
memory, some sort of cartridge style, they could have it hooked up to the actual hard drive, bus.
no, wait a minute though. But why? Like, if USB doesn't have the speed, I mean, like all of my externals are hooked up through USB, and I don't really notice a slowdown.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, like
Between
we're
that
just-
and your internal drive?
Yeah, like actually, well, I don't know about the X because I haven't put anything on the internal drive with the X, but with the S, I actually got it was actually faster
Well, it might
for me
be
to
that-
load from my external.
this is probably because you're still on. Like they all use platter drives, right?
I don't even know what the fuck that is, but
Actual discs, hard discs, not solid state.
yeah, they don't.
So
use
yeah,
solid
if it was
Roll
solid
Con.
state, you'd notice a difference.
Oh no, because there was in the PS4. I mean, they did this.
No, but they don't have the proper like setup to take advantage of solid state. If they did,
Well, yeah, I
which
mean,
they're,
well, yeah,
they're
'cause,
going
like,
to. It's
they said
inevitable.
that- Yeah, because the person that did the test tested the PS4 and the Xbox One. They swapped out they did the base hard drive, which is a HDD, and then they did a SSHD and a
Yeah.
SSD, and it only like benefited you like I think it was like 1.4 extra seconds.
Yeah. But it's because it wasn't
And-
designed for what the newer SSDs could do.
Yeah, and then they said that then they put it in the PC, and then they said that it was like almost like a 2-minute type. I mean, it was like a huge boost in the PC over the consoles. So I mean, like, I don't know, because even the X doesn't even have an SSD in it. It just has just a HDD.
Because that's the
It's
thing,
just
whether
a-
it's SD cards, I mean, everything's going to flash memory. So the odds are that console manufacturers are going to want to do that too. And I just don't see one SD cards are limited in size, so it's not like you're going to get like 4 terabyte SD cards to stick in the back of your Xbox, 8. So
No, I just-
I want to know what they're thinking about doing, because
A
they
new
need to
file
do that
type.
right. That's
There's
going to be
gotta
a
be a new
huge issue,
file
because like I
type
said,
and new
games are
compression
getting
method.
huge.
It's gonna be a new file type and new compression method. There's no other way.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to have to be a pretty big.
Well, Xbox did something where I don't know why, like Gears and like Forza and stuff like that, or Gears and Halo weren't like, or maybe they were corrected and that's just the size they are. But like, or like my Shadow of War, with 4K assets and everything, it's like 45 gigabytes, and for some reason, like Gears 4 with 4K assets was like 96 gigabytes, but like their
Well,
compression.
some of it is how the actual game is compressed by the developers.
Yeah, but they did something with whenever you load onto the thing, like they put an update out or whatever to make it to where it compressed the file more, and it lowered the sizes, because I think the Shadow of War was originally like around 70 some gigabytes, but then once I got my X and downloaded it, they had already had that update with the compression, and it knocked it down, like I said, to 45 gigabytes. So I mean,
Yeah, but I mean
they're-
that'll only help you so much, because like Doom 3, the textures were I think the sound, the movies, and the texture files were all uncompressed, and you could compress them yourself and save space at the cost of slightly slower loading time. But I mean, if you had it on an SSD, that didn't even matter. And I think it dropped it like, this isn't 4K. They did Doom 3 didn't have 4K textures, but it did have all the way up to 1080p, and it only dropped it like maybe, I think you saved like 15%. I mean, there's a pretty hard limit on how much compression you can get away with.
one thing that Xbox did was, before, like whenever the Shadow of War or Assassin's Creed was updating with the 4K textures and stuff, you were downloading every language,
Right. Yeah.
and every setting or whatever. So now they made it to where now it's kind of region specific, and it only download that one specific language for your area. Now, if you want to switch it to a different one, you have the opportunity to download that one. But otherwise, I mean, it just basically defaults to your area and your language your native language in that area, and which cut down on the file sizes a lot too. I don't think they'll ever go to an SSD, because SSDs haven't got to the size that they need to be at a decent price.
Well, that's why
They're starting to, though. Like
that's
there's
why the
there's supposed to be a big
SSHDs are
cut.
really taking the market right now.
Yeah, and I was
What?
gonna say I just heard about a big cut in flash memory store prices, because of some company was like doubling their capacity for cranking it out, and stuff like that. So I bet within the next 6 to 8 months they're gonna start coming out with like fairly large size for a pretty good price.
I don't know. I think on consoles, I think even with PS5 and the Xbox One X, One X, whatever it's gonna end up being called, it's gonna be. I think it's still just gonna be a 7,200 RPM HDD.
No, I don't. Think
I don't know,
so.
but that's the
I don't
thing.
think
You,
it's gonna be.
even that's got a size limit and a pretty big speed
'Cause-
lit.
I mean, if it is,
So how much is-
I'll put it this way, Rambo. If it is, then I'm gonna be like, well, fuck. Well, then they are stupid for doing that, because they got to get to a point, right? Because like right now, like in Silicon Valley, we're reaching our limits right now. We're pushing silicon as hard as we can, right? So right now, the only thing they could do is keep reducing the sizes, increasing clock speeds, and better cooling temperatures. Like that's the only thing that there's left to do next to like cracking silicon. Right, so the next step would have to be pretty much evolving our software techniques, like changing the way we program, coming up with better compression
And
methods.
fine-tuning the hardware with the little things.
Yep, like that's the only other way that these manufacturers are going to be able to stay.
Well, yeah,
in the
but I
game
mean,
for
like they're
consoles,
not.
man.
I mean, unless there's I'm talking a drastic price decrease. Like we're talking drastic. And,
I'll
and
bet you it's coming
SSDs or even SSHDs, and size increases, they're going to have to. I mean, they'll stick with the HDD because I mean, like these console manufacturers, like Microsoft and Sony, they're not going to come out with $1,000 console because they had to put
No,
SSDs
but bro,
in
like
there.
I just went to Fry's today, right? And there were 8 terabyte workstation, backup drives, the slightly larger ones, and they were like $140. And then there were like the little passport backup drives. 3 terabytes was like $86. So that stuff's getting cheap.
But yeah, but I mean, like you said, I mean, like I would think that they'll go to more like putting an 8 terabyte HDD in there before they put an SSD because, like I said, I mean, the price cuts are going to have to be like drastic because right now on Amazon a 1 terabyte SSD regular price is $500. It's on sale for It's on sale for $284.
Oh, I got my 1 terabyte for $140.
Really, I paid barely like 40 something.
That's an M.2.
Oh, M.2. Okay.
Yeah, M.2 1 terabyte, $140.
I heard like M.2 wasn't really worth the investment, like because
dude, it's stupid fast.
yeah, but it's not like not
Dude,
that
I'm
much
looking-
faster than SSDs. Like
it's quite measurable.
I'm looking through all these things, every single thing on here on Amazon for the 1 terabyte SSD internal hard drive, and everything is $200 or more. Every single one of them. Like if you want,
could
an M.2 is $286.65.
Well, I got mine on Newegg, but I mean that's the thing. It's getting cheaper though.
I mean, it's going to have to get a lot cheaper because, like, I could for that 1 terabyte price, I can get I can get 16 terabytes of space.
Memory and flash memory have both been in shortage for the last like year, and so their prices have been through the roof, and that's why both like DDR3, DDR4, SSDs, flash memory cards, all of it like had a huge price increase last year. Was because of that. It's Samsung, Apple, and then Nintendo were pretty much the culprits. So, but like I said, there was news on that front like a couple weeks ago, and I think it's going to start dropping pretty soon here, and it'll probably drop pretty low because this is big industry. Like Samsung and Apple and them, they don't stop needing that much flash memory.
I mean, something's gonna have to give if they're gonna go with that because it's gonna have like the prices are gonna have to lower like a ton, and the what's it called, or they're gonna I don't know, the price is going to have to come down a hell of a lot. I mean, because otherwise they're just going to go with put an 8 terabyte HDD in there and call it 8. Because by the time that, like, say the PS5 drops in 2020 or later, an 8 terabyte then might be around $100. And 8 terabytes is a pretty damn a lot of fucking space.
Wasn't there like some new memory storage thing that they were doing with Liquid not so long ago?
I don't know about Liquid, but I did hear about.
It was like either Liquid or Mercury, or I can't remember exactly what the material is, but I just remember it was like Liquid, and it's supposed to have 20 times that of a regular terabyte. Like, it's supposed to be a ton. Like, it's some astronomical number. And it's
but you're not going to be able to find, like, no console is going to go with the newest shit.
Right. But you know as well as I do, in the midst of discovering these new ways of doing things, like, there's always some residual shit that'll take place that are on the sides while being discovered. You know what I mean? So, like,
yeah.
I mean, and I guess they've been working on it for, like, what, 15 years, Pete, or some shit like that? Like, forever now.
I can't remember. Yeah, there's a few of those long-term tech type things that have either come to fruition or are nearing fruition, like recently.
They actually discovered the means of storing data through SSD because of this project. In fact, SSD drives are like the residual of this project that they've been working on through IBM. So, I mean, there's that. I mean, imagine that. Like I said, Silicon, we're pushing it. You know what I mean? That Silicon shit is just not. It's getting to a point now where we're manipulating it, changing sizes. I mean, look at the size difference with Ryzen and EPYC and shit. Like, those chips are like 5 times the size, man.
Oh, bro. Dude, the traces are getting so small, the 14 nanometer and stuff, that because of the way quantum mechanics works, sometimes the electrons are actually outside of the wire, inside the chip.
Mm-hmm.
And so they can interfere with each other. So I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do, because it seems like that's a pretty. I mean, we could space them out farther and obviously keep them from interfering with each other. That'll keep the size up, but it won't be a problem. But that seems like a pretty hard limit as far as shrinking that goes. So unless we figure out another way, I mean, unless quantum computing, or I don't know, something with light or electromagnetic frequencies, or something like that. I don't. Yeah.
Last time, Li-Fi.
Yeah, there's a whole host of theories I've heard thrown around, but nobody's any closer to coming up with something that'll work. Not that I've heard of.
It'll be interesting when they do get it figured out.
I just looked up like a 4 terabyte, like say for my PS4, the internal, $1,500.
What?
A 4 terabyte internal, because I don't have in the PS4 you don't have a 3.5-inch drive, and either you don't in the Xbox One either.
They're 2.5, right?
Yeah, they're 2.5, and the biggest you can get right now, like mainline, is basically 2 terabyte. But if you want to do the 4 terabyte, they have one. It's a Samsung Evo 4 terabyte SSD, but it's $1,500.
Oh yeah, the Samsung Evo, yeah.
But that's the only one they have for a 4 terabyte 2.5 inch. Like, and so I mean, I don't know. I mean, I was even thinking about like upgrading my PS4s to the 2 terabyte one, but like at $100, and I have an 8 terabyte hooked up to it. I was like, I'm not really sure there's a reason to fuck with making the internal 2 terabyte.
Making it 2.5 was kind of a silly decision.
Well,
it's really hard to find
about size, though.
I mean,
the
still.
size of the console. I mean, and being able to fit everything in there. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. You guys don't have external anymore, right? Or some shit like that, like.
No, external works, but the internal you can't use the 3.5 drives in the internal. So you can't. Yeah, you have to use laptop platter drives, and they don't make. Yeah, the 4 terabyte. I didn't think they were that. I could have swore I saw 4 terabytes at Fry's for like $350.
I mean, I've never seen one inside of a store. I don't have a Fry's.
I know I saw 3 terabytes.
Amazon,
like 2s were like 180.
See, on Amazon I can get it for $99.99.
For a 2?
Yeah.
Then it might have been like 100 or something like that. I can't remember the exact. I didn't care because I wasn't looking for
internal shit. Just give me my externals, man. That's fucking expensive.
Well, the internal, it was always nice because if I ran out of room on the external, then I could just I'd have plenty of room on the internal as well. But I mean, I have 1 terabyte on my internals for my PS4 Pro and the Slim. I did before have a 2 terabyte on my my old Pro, but I figured since I have an 8 terabyte external that there's really no point. I mean, there's the benefit of upgrading from a 1 terabyte to a 2 terabyte really isn't that big of a benefit. I mean, when considering I have a 8 terabyte external.
Oh yeah, with how external, yeah.
Now, whenever I had a 500 gigabyte internal, there was definitely a need to upgrade that internal because the 500 gigabyte, once you put the OS of either Microsoft or of Xbox or PlayStation on your hard drive. Now, the one good thing though, I mean, with PlayStation, I don't know why theirs is so much lighter. Because if you have a 500 gigabyte, you'll have 471 gigabytes left
on PlayStation.
With nothing else on there besides the OS. When you buy a 500 gigabyte Xbox One, then you only have 364 gigabytes left.
Oof. That's a big chunk.
Yeah, so I mean, it's almost like a need that you have either external or a bigger internal because a 500 gigabyte is pointless with how big their OSs are.
Yeah, it's like 3 games.
I guess that would definitely help with when I choose what play. I mean, because I can only put 3 at a time on there. Unless it's Halo 5, then I can only put 2. Because I think before the 4K patches, I think it was close to 90 gigabytes, wasn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, and they haven't even done the 4K patches yet for the Halo 5, so I don't even want to know what that's going to be like. I mean, I don't know. It's definitely going to be interesting to see what they go with. I personally think they'll just go with a larger HDD because I mean you're talking by then the HDDs are going to be dirt cheap because of all the advancements you're saying that they're making in the SSDs. They'll just go with a larger regular hard drive.
Well, there's still a pretty hard limit with HDDs though because I mean. I know they make 8 terabytes right now in the 3.5s, but in 2.5s you're stuck with 4, and those are obviously ridiculously expensive. But even saying 3, it's not a supply limit or anything because right now it's just a supply limit. That's why they're not building 20 terabyte 2.5 inch SSDs. Because those cases could easily fit 1,000 terabytes of flash memory.
Oh yeah.
So with hard drives, 4 or 5 maybe is the pretty much hard limit of how many platters you can fit in a 2.5 inch drive. So I mean, it's not like in 5 years there'll be.
No, I just think
20,
I think they'll go with. I think they'll go with rather than the 2.5 inch. I think they'll go with a
3.5
and just make the 8 terabyte the standard because right now you can get an 8 terabyte for $199.
Right.
And so by the
probably
time
$100 in a few years,
or even less.
Yeah.
I mean, in a few years, especially if they make as many advancements on the if they make as much advancements on the SSDs and shit, then more people will be going to those and thus dropping the prices of HDDs, and that'll make it even cheaper for them to put and if they put an 8 terabyte in there and allow external hard drives to be hooked up, that's still a hell of a lot of space.
Didn't you
I don't know,
run an
I
8?
think
I could have sworn you ran an 8 at one point, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I run an 8 on my PS4 and my Xbox One.
external, right?
External, yeah. I don't do
yeah.
you can't do the internal.
Can't do it
size.
internal, yeah.
And I sure as hell don't have $1,500 for the 4 terabyte one.
That's a lot.
And even if I did, I still wouldn't do it.
That's such a lot of money for for just what it does. You know what I mean? It's not that big of a deal.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
I
I
think
was looking at the same thing because
I'm not really sure why it's as much as what it is. Maybe it's because supply and demand is just not
I
there.
think that's it. I think it is.
I mean,
hard drives supply has gone up the supply went up so high, the prices dropped so low, and then solid states came out and flash sticks and all that came out. So people started buying less hard drives in general.
God damn it.
And just, bought thumbsticks or, a couple terabyte jump drives or whatever.
Yeah, whenever.
So
You
yeah,
walk
I mean, because I remember when you could get like a 2 terabyte platter drive, 3.5 inch, for like $69 on sale at Fry's, maybe like
Yeah.
5 years ago or 4 years ago, something like that. I remember it was super cheap.
Well, hell, you can almost get a 4 terabyte for that price now.
Bro,
so.
I got a 4 terabyte.
But if you look at, like,
two
if
4
you look at the
terabyte
other
drives
stuff-
for like $200. I got them on sale
Yeah,
at
so
Target.
The 4 terabyte ones are they regularly go on sale anywhere from $99 to around $79 to $99 in
Yeah.
that range.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that they'll change the size from the 2.5 inch to the 3.5 inch before they switch over to SSDs simply because of the cost to the consumer, that they don't want to price their product to where it's like nobody wants another PlayStation 3 launch or maybe even an Well, I don't know. I think the Xbox Xbox One launch at $500 is going to be like the new norm for consoles.
Yeah.
But because I think the next one, like PS5, is going to go big or go home with the power. But I think they're going to be careful enough to basically keep the pricing at around $500 because you definitely don't want to come out with another $700 console. Like,
No.
I don't think. I mean, as much as people talk about they want power, I still don't think people are going to be willing to dump $700 on a console. It'll be interesting to see how the PS5 handles itself because it should come out before the next Xbox, and like they've got to think about memory,
Yeah.
and the hard drives, and they also got to think about what GPU and CPU to go with in order to give the consumer a pretty fair price, but still be able to keep up with whatever the Xbox is going to come out with after them.
Yeah.
Now, what do y'all think about? Do y'all think it's fair to, when you rank in sales and stuff, to put, for 2 different reasons, to put the Switch in say who wins the Black Friday NPDs or even just November NPDs? Do you think it's fair to rank the Switch in with the PS4 and Xbox One for 2 reasons? One, it's their 9th gen and it's PS4 and Xbox One's 8th gen. And it's a handheld that you can plug into your TV, and the other 2 are a console, which those are 2 different type of market.
Alright. Well, aside.
I
from
heard
the
somebody
fact-
talk about that today.
Aside from the markets being Nintendo's market being hybrid, yes, actually, I would say it's fair. I mean, look at how they did the Wii, right? They marketed the Wii pre PS3 Xbox 360 sales margin, and they still marketed it as part of that generation. You know what I mean? So it's a trend, it's a market trend that they've been following for a long time. So I'm in that mindset, why not? You know what I mean? I guess it all
Well-
depends on the person, because I don't really consider that a solely handheld device, because you can plug it into your TV. It's a hybrid, you know what I mean? So, and if you would have asked me about this with the Wii U, then I would have said the same thing. So,
But see, like the Wii U was released a year before the PS4 and Xbox One, so and that was the 8th generation.
I know. We're
So, I mean,
7.5, whatever you want to say. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean it was 8th generation for them. I mean it was but I mean how do like that's the kind of weird thing is like how do you? Because then I mean, are you gonna if the Switch is still out, say in 2020, are they gonna put the PS5 against the Nintendo Switch? That's gonna be weird.
If that's what's out, I mean, if that's what's out and it's still selling and it's still relevant, I mean, I don't see why not. As long as, I guess that would have to really come across relevancy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean it's just kind of to me it's kind of weird in that only in that sense with the generations because
If you were to go by generations, then yeah, it wouldn't make sense, and then you'd have to take a cold hard look at Nintendo as a whole, and just know that their generations are always going to be fucking wonky.
yeah, because like there's no way. I mean, there's no way that Switch is ever going to like be able to compete with like say the PS4 because they already had what like almost 4 years of sales before the Switch ever came out.
Yeah.
And same thing with Xbox One, but I don't know. It's just kind of weird how Nintendo jump started a nice generation kind of. But they had to do something to get out from under that Wii U.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that Wii U was a nightmare. Somebody asked me today, like, "Why don't you still have your Wii?" And I'm like, "Shit, I sold that thing as quick as shit. I had to forget that mistake ever happened."
I liked it. I thought it was all right. I still have mine.
It was a gimmick. Just like all of Nintendo's things.
That definitely
But
was a gimmick.
It was an unpopular gimmick, and I mean, honestly, they should have known better than making a controller that's damn near just as expensive as the box itself, and you can't get it separate, and all sorts of
that
other
and the fact that
silly
and
things.
naming it just almost identical to the previous generation. It was like especially like when they showed it, they only showed the damn handheld part of it.
Right.
And they just called it the Wii U, and everybody. I mean, everybody's like, "Hey, it's just an add-on if you want to your Wii."
Right.
I think it took me almost 2 to 3 years to actually figure out that it was actually a new fucking console. Because every time you went to Walmart, all you saw was just the handheld part of it. You never got to see the box, like so. It just kept making me think that
Nintendo doesn't know what generation it's at. Nintendo is the touchy.
True.
No, Nintendo is the touchy uncle that's about in his 50s that comes to the family reunion, has drank at the table with the adults, but then goes and chooses that he's gonna go have dinner with the kids. While everybody else is eating chicken, Nintendo is still eating macaroni and cheese and saying that it tastes like chicken. You know what I mean? Like
or
that's
chicken nuggets.
Tendies, right?
Right? Like
Mac and cheese and
that is
tendies.
literally Nintendo in a nutshell. Like there's nothing ever that's gonna happen to where Nintendo's gonna be wanting to ever play nicely with the big kids at the table. They would rather go to well,
Yeah,
in
they do
this
their own
case,
thing.
Yeah, they would forever go to their nephews and nieces for advice about video games, but they'll never go along with them about video games. Instead, they would rather be the scary, touchy uncle who sits at the dinner table with the kids and fucking only bite off the table of the big kids, or again, their nephews or nieces or their grandchildren, to find out what's hot and what's not. I mean, that's Nintendo at its best, okay? Like, there's an article that was released, there's a reason why I say this, too. There's an article that was released about Sony, about them saying we don't want to lose Sony, because I guess Nintendo is trying to get into the Chinese market. And they're using Sony's, some of Sony's software to do this with. So, I mean... Like I said, they're never going to want to play nice with each other, but guess what? They're definitely going to use their nieces and nephews to suck dry to make sure they can get a foot in some sort of market somewhere.
Yep, they're kind of.
I'm pretty sure I just triggered Metro at some point.
It's not hard to do. I mean,
Did you hear that whole thing, Shane?
Most of it,
The
yes.
touchy uncle at the table?
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty much, it's
Very-
true though, isn't it? Like, everybody else is a 9th gen, or no, everybody else is an 8th gen, and the uncle's like, no, I'm in 9th gen. I don't know what you guys are talking about. That way you counted.
See, it would have been better, I think, if like PlayStation and Xbox would have like separated their cells for the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X.
Yeah, because those might
And
have been a
then-
little bit more of a fair comparison.
Yeah, I was,
Yeah,
gonna,
then you
I
would-
was gonna say that technically we could say that like Xbox and Sony are in their 9th generation.
I mean, I guess you could. I mean, you could say that, but I mean, like the.
Not wrong.
Well, no, I mean, I guess in the sense that like the generational leaps like force you to buy that generational leap in order to continue playing games, and neither the Pro or the X actually force you to buy them.
Yeah.
So that's where I guess the difference is. But I mean, that actually make it comparable. I think to the 9th gen would be to separate the Pro and X cells from the other one.
But that's the thing. They were, well, at least Microsoft in part was saying they were committed to doing away with that anyway. So then what would be the point if all the machines are supposed to be able to play the game? Then there's no
Yeah.
generations anyway.
So I don't. I mean, it's like the whole console cells and like how they rank them and stuff like that is definitely going to be, I guess, different going forward because I think PlayStation has said they're committed to generations. Xbox don't want to do generations, and Nintendo keeps just jumping generations.
Well, I mean, let's be fair. On a technicality, Nintendo is still in Generation 7.5. They have never
Well-
truly left the Wii era, dude. Ever. Like, their Switches are only slightly better than their Wii.
Well, I mean, I
And
guess
a
as far as in
fraction better
terms
than
of
the Wii U. Like, not even
in
a
terms
lot,
of power, but I mean, in terms of like being forced to buy a different console, then you're definitely on Gen 9.
Well, that's like I said.
Yeah,
I was
so I
just
mean-
saying on a technicality,
Yeah,
like on a
Yeah,
technicality of the
on the
hardware.
power part, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Now, what's crazy is that, like in a couple of years they're going to come out with a Switch Lite, Switch DSi, Switch.
I'm actually thinking about holding
XL.
out for my next Nintendo
Yeah.
product and just doing that. No, seriously, like I thought about this. Like
DSi XL,
if my little bro there
three
hooks it up,
DSi XL.
if my little bro there hooks it up with a Switch, like I'll be forever grateful for him. Like I'll actually play it and everything. But for me personally, if I'm going to buy another Nintendo product, I think I'm just gonna wait until they do something like that.
Well, I'm hoping to God that my wife forgets after we bought the Switch that my wife forgets that Nintendo was ever a company.
Bro, you know, if like they put balls at the end of those controllers, she's gonna have a lot of fun, right? Just saying.
Well, because like it drives me nuts that she loves the looks of Nintendo games, I guess, and I guess they're fun for her every once in a while.
Yeah, they're beautiful games,
But-
actually. Yeah.
But they basically like every fucking Nintendo console that she wants just sits there and collects dust. I mean, our Wii U, like you could barely even tell it was a Wii U because you had like blow the damn dust off of it because it was like it was hidden. It was camouflage.
It was in.
Yeah, I mean, like she never plays it, and I don't think she'll ever play the Switch. So I mean, it's up to me to try to make use of the money, and she won't let me trade it because she might play it one day down the road in 17 years, whenever. And she's like, "If we get rid of it, I'm getting a Wii U," and I'm like, "Fuck it, we're definitely keeping the Switch because I'm not having another fucking Wii U in my house."
I got it right. The Switch Double, where it's a bigger Switch that you can use as a screen to play your regular Switch on.
Bruh.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna do that because they combine their handheld and their console market into the Switch, and you know how they do their handheld market, how they it's an eye and a light and all this stuff. They're gonna do the exact same thing with the Switch now.
Oh, what are they going to
yeah.
add to it though?
Bro, did you see what No
I
Better Name
can't
put?
imagine what they could,
He-
except for maybe making it a
He
little
said
bigger.
Nintendo's
A
next
D-pad?
handheld. He said Nintendo's next handheld is going to be a 3DSi XL Mega 4K Ultra XL. One.
I think that was an eye.
Or
But yeah,
I
I think that. Yeah, I think you're right. It was like they could add a webcam, they could add a D-pad. Because right now they don't have a D-pad; they just have 4 arrows. And so, I mean, I definitely would benefit from having a D-pad on there.
But you could probably get, I don't know about a button cover,
God,
but
can you imagine, like, if...
No, somebody-
stick cover that could do it.
Somebody's taken the Switch or the Joy-Con apart and installed a D-pad in there where the 4 buttons are. But I'm like, I'm not taking a fucking apart Switch. Not until
Well,
my
yeah,
warranty's up.
you'd have to cut the.
The plastic, you have to trim
Yeah,
it
I mean,
out
because
and everything.
why? I guarantee it wouldn't be set to receive.
Oh, no,
the
well, no,
rubber
'cause it
for a
has the-
D-pad.
Well, no,
Unless
because
it's
the
using
D-pad
old-
has to come all the way through.
I was just gonna say, unless it's using the old school D-pads from the PlayStation 1. era.
Yeah. Because those had a little, I think, had a little plastic in between the arrows.
Yeah, they were separated buttons.
Even
yeah.
though they were actually connected on the rubber underneath.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, unless it was something like that, and obviously that one wouldn't work because way too fucking big for the Switch. So I wonder what they had to do to get that to function proper.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm not even going to try even think about messing with that until at least my warranty is up, because
Yeah, right.
I'm not fucking up a Joy-Con because they're like fucking $80.
Shit's ridiculous, dude.
Bro, just fucking
Yeah.
your Joy-Con when you use the shit out of it, man.
That's just fucking insane. The
I
amount of
don't know
money
what-
that those damn Joy-Cons.
I mean, I know what Nintendo was thinking, but I don't know what the fuck they were thinking.
We can get rich off of this.
Well, I mean,
you know what really hurt?
their last console didn't do that great.
Dude,
it
it didn't do so great that I had to hunt for the power cable. My cats chewed on my original power cable to my Wii U. Bro, like, I looked everywhere for that fucking thing. Even Hastings couldn't carry it, dude. I had to go online to Amazon and find some random Chinese company that I've never heard of before in order to charge my battery to my Wii U. Like, it was ridiculous.
And people
I had to
don't
do
like
that with my Xbox power supply.
Yep.
people don't like finding out that replacement for that kind of stuff is super expensive. And man, I can only imagine after Christmas this year how many broken Joy-Cons there are going to be.
I don't know. When we were gonna, because she wanted the multicolored ones, the neon ones, and they didn't have that. They didn't have that console in stock or whatever, so they only had the gray Joy-Cons. And like, she was gonna buy just the separate ones, and they were like $79.99. I'm like, yeah, no, it's not that fucking important. Like, there's just there's just no, to me, like, there's no reason for them to be that fucking much. And their Pro controller, fucking $70 for it's half the price of the damn Elite controller. And there's nothing special about it. It's just black. So I mean, like, it's basically the PS4 and the Xbox One black controller on the Nintendo, but somehow because it has Nintendo on it, you're paying an extra almost 10 to 20 bucks.
Nintendo is the poor man's Apple product of the Japanese culture, okay? Where Apple's already using out-of-date hardware, right? Nintendo is quite literally like that company that's the third wave of that, but it's even worse. And they're selling for just as much. It's like, Jesus Christ. You have HTC, right? And then you're gonna have like the knockoff brand of HTC that's selling even like lesser parts, but for the same price. Like,
What gets me
Nuh-uh.
is they saw the Vita fail in part. I mean, maybe not fail, but I mean, it didn't do that great. And in part, the reason was because of a lot of the, you know, fuck is the word, proprietary components like the SD cards and shit.
oh yeah, the whole only one
know,
account thing.
Yeah,
Remember
stuff like
that
that,
shit?
dude. And Nintendo's pulling some of that same shit and expanding on it, like fucking $80 for a goddamn pair of Joy-Cons. You know, like, yeah, it's, I don't know. I mean, unless they're just doing this and they're hoping that in another 6 months or a year they can drop the price on everything a little bit, and so it's like $40 for a pair of Joy-Cons, and you know, or whatever. I don't know. I think if in a few years people's parts start going out and they start looking up and it's still $80 for a pair of Joy-Cons, they're gonna be pretty pissed. I mean, that'd be I'd be furious if I bought
Oh,
a. How
what-
much?
what-
What's a Switch at launch?
I
Or now, I should say.
honestly don't know.
It's like $400,
Maybe, yeah.
something like that. I don't know. It's a lot,
Even,
and it
dude,
doesn't
even-
come with much.
What, the Vita even still is selling for a high amount, isn't it? Like, that's damn near an obsolete platform. And they're still, releasing these one-off games here and there for it. Like, it's like the Dreamcast, dude. Like, it didn't sell well at first, but now that the community is kind of more of aware about it now, like, people want one, I guess. But, I mean, I don't know.
True. I think the Dreamcast was more popular after it wasn't available anymore.
Nintendo, I don't know, Nintendo just has a way with themselves. And I don't know, I don't know when.
Why is no better name yelling about the Earth being flat?
Recon airborne. Movement by the farmhouse. I got him.
God, you guys got fucking quiet.
Well, I mean, we didn't, I don't know. I guess we all wanted to hear what she had to say to you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was important.
Wait, you guys heard that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
all
just
of it,
waiting on you
Yeah.
to kill someone over some brownies. I mean,
Right?
Yeah, we're pretty much, yeah.
I thought I had that shit muted. Okay, that's right. Hey,
Oh,
you
no.
heard that shit right, guys. Whoever ate all, if somebody ate all those brownies, I'm gonna kill some motherfuckers that live upstairs.
Like,
Oh.
you know, Metrox is sitting there, like, in the chat going, shit, how do I make it out of the house?
oh, only Discord heard it. Okay, so we're the special ones, and
Oh. Okay. So you
run,
muted the
Metro,
stream
run!
Yeah, you muted yourself on stream, but not in
in
Discord.
the Discord.
I muted
This
my.
is why I like my headphones. They have the music right on them.
Oh shit! All right, so they only heard Discord. Got it. That's fucking funny.
Enemy recon aircraft returned.
Metro! I only had a piece of the brownie, by the way.
Yeah, he's making sure. He's like, I
He's
gotta
like,
cover
I don't
my
feel
ass.
like dying today, man. I don't want to die over eating this white man's brownies.
Well, then you best tell your boyfriend to run, because if it wasn't you, it was him.
Yep.
Well,
Better-
then.
You better run, Jamie. I'm gonna get my crew together and we're gonna lynch somebody. Watch the
I'm
hate
not gonna
come
lie, I
through.
could have used one of those brownies too, Jamie.
You know, like.
I found him.
Okay, good. Aw, you didn't have to get.
Well,
Wait some tea.
Metro,
Thank
you're
you,
lucky.
baby.
She found him.
You live another day, Metrox.
Nigga, I ain't that for your shit.
He has his
Get
own.
out of here.
It's because you're half black. That's why we blamed you.
Okay.
Well, we have
Sorry,
to.
just
I mean,
didn't
that's, like,
love
natural.
you.
I love you too.
Just make sure you have enough.
You only have half white privilege, Metro. Only half, man.
My white Christmas tree has more than you.
You're You know what's worse than
So-
that is like if he steals the brownies, nobody will ever see him do it.
Unless he smiles.
True. Very true. Man.
So, in South Park, I defeated the PC principal and got my social justice warrior certificate. So that's pretty good.
Cadillac is all I need.
Nice, nice. I want one for myself.
I ain't dying for your shit.
What's funny is somebody's taking the video of somebody. Have you seen the video of somebody driving to Los Angeles with the whole thing on fire?
Yeah.
Well, somebody's taken that video and made a GIF out of it, or a 16-second little video, and instead of the highway sign saying like what's coming up, it says "Welcome to 2018." So that's basically like what we're looking forward to coming. What's crazy is Los Angeles is getting it from both sides.
Double penetrated.
Yeah, I mean they're getting a fire from the north and a fire from the south.
Well,
I mean, really, if I had to imagine what hell looked like, it'd probably be that
Bro.
fucking picture of the mountain.
Yeah.
On fire.
Is it me, or is it kind of ironic? Because we were just talking about something big happening in California, and I said something into the effect of it being Mother Nature's ethnic cleansing.
They're trying to get rid of that.
Here we are sometime later after that podcast, and that's exactly what's happening.
Mother Nature is definitely trying to get rid of the people in Los Angeles. I guess vanity is. She doesn't really care for vanity.
So do you think nature's
And
hot or not? No.
I'm looking at the fires in Los Angeles and going, I mean, is it really that big a deal? Because that's where a lot of the cancer comes from.
Sparrow says everything changed since the Fire Nation attacked. Oh my god, that's funny. That is funny. If you've never watched Avatar, dude, that's actually really funny. Oh man.
Nature, Go Get Nature is definitely hot on the heels of Los Angeles, because they said it's like 3 miles from the actual downtown.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm thinking, shit, man. By this
That's
time
only
next
what,
week,
like 2.5 hours from here, if that, Brim?
Yeah.
by this time next week, we could be without Los Angeles, and I mean that's a lot of people.
I'm okay with this though.
Yeah, I mean that's a. I mean that 2020 voting looking really good.
Like I'm not saying bad
I
things
don't
should
want
happen
people
to
to die,
these people,
you know,
but you know,
As Meme Chan says, they'll just go missing.
they'll just go missing. Yes, they disappear like magic. Nothing bad happens, right?
What's funny is that somebody's going to come later, like Guy Ritchie. Is his name Guy Ritchie? The cook.
Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri, yeah. He went whenever the last time they had these fires in California. He went down there and thought, well, I'll be nice and like cook for all the firefighters and the people that are misplaced and everything like that. And so he did a barbecue. And people were pissed that he did a barbecue, saying that he was insensitive and that he needed to check himself or whatever. I'm like going, do you not realize that the barbecue's not the easiest way to feed that many fucking people?
Not to mention, he doesn't need a lighter to light the coals. I mean, fuck.
It's like just kind of walk a few miles back and you can cook from a distance.
Right? Like, motherfuckers, dude. Like, nothing. Dude, bro, can you imagine that shit? He does it again. Like, hey, don't worry, I brought my smoker this time. Yo, and then they would have a reason to be pissed. You know what I'm saying? Like, then you know that shit's deliberate. Like, oh, you know what though? Here's the sick thing, you guys. Like, if this was happening in my area, trust me, I would be just as demented. Not joking.
Oh yeah.
We know.
Well, I know. I don't think they do. I think they think I just hate California when I hate almost anywhere that contains a ghetto or facilitates ghetto-like living.
Well, hey, California deserves
Mainly
it.
tweakers.
Tweakers are definitely part of the ghetto. Definitely a thing. They're kind of like a commodity in the ghetto, really. Like they want to be your buddy when they want to get high, and then they disappear when you don't have money. So it's like they're pretty convenient people if you think about it. It's like, hey man, I just got a paycheck. Hey bro, you want some cocaine? You're like, sure. Let's go do a line. And then you're out of money. They disappear. It's great. Hell, they'll even trade you up for your EBT shit, man. You got Snap? Don't worry, we got you. Oh, you only have a card for Snap for first of the month, right? don't worry, they got you. Like, I mean, these guys are like they're like the United States fucking professional reverse engineering asshats of the world, dude. Like, if they find a way to have a microchip implanted into your brain to use your EBT, they'll figure a way out to fucking get that shit off your head. I mean, without hurting you, of course. I mean, that's just how these motherfuckers are. Like, oh, you got food stamps? Don't worry. It's called Facebook Trading Market. Have you seen it yet? Yep, we do that. Yo, the day when Facebook becomes the #1 currency exchange rate in the United States.
It's gonna happen.
Yo, like, think about that shit, man. How many posts have you seen, Shane, that revolves our area involving EBT trade for sale? Like,
Oh, jeez.
bro, this shit's so ridiculous at this moment. It's a meme for out here. It's like, damn. But if you guys want to, we could end it. Do you guys want to leave this on a heated up note? See what I did there? Yeah, you got it. Yeah. I know.
Somebody made a tweet real quick that says 11/11/11 buy Skyrim for PS3, 12/1/13 buy Skyrim for 360, 12/12/16 buy Skyrim for PS4, 12/6/17 buy Skyrim for Switch, 6/9/28 buy Skyrim for microwave, 5/12/31 buy Skyrim for iPhone, 5/25/45 buy Skyrim for prosthetic robot leg, and
What the fuck?
and then 8/1/60 becomes Skyrim.
Become Skyrim. So we regress so much into the world. We become a shitty Bethesda game. Not saying Skyrim's really shit, but think about it. Like, that just kind of co-aligns with what me and Rambo's always said about Bethesda. They can't really, you know, develop a solid game without any fuck-ups. I mean, we regress so much that, like, you see Bethesda in our production line every time the world wakes up, right? Like, oh my goodness. And well, I guess
that's probably what you'll like. That's what's going to end up happening before the Elder Scroll or Elder Scroll 6 ever releases.
Who was that guy that helped develop Elder Scrolls that has like the community pissed off at him that the dude lies about everything? Do you know who that is? They actually have like a forum dedicated to all of his quotes. And it's just,
is that Pete Hines?
I don't know, maybe.
I think so.
But like the
Because
community,
he's the one that Bethesda everybody makes fun of.
yeah, like he has these like lofty goals, but he never really sees them out ever. He tells people all the time that you could do this, that, and the other, and like you find out later you can't. I mean, it's funny.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well then, looks like I got an afterlife kill. Sweet. And I guess 11/11 buy Payday 2 for everything. You can climb over mountains. You could be the mountain. Well, I guess we can always end it off as always. If you guys don't already know, Pete is going to try to reverse engineer his GPU to get Overwatch to run. It's kind of weird, but, you know, whatever.
Sounds like a plan.
God damn it, Pete. Jesus fucking Christ.